Welcome, everybody, to VCS English. We are getting into the final stretch now. We have 2 weeks left, and joined with me today, myself, I'm Vinnie. With me today is Yulwei and Rebel Fox. Welcome, guys. Sorry for the delay on the start. We had a bit of technical difficulties just going there. Every day will be joining us on the cast, but he will not be here for the desk. It's my domain now. I've taken over. Anyway, we got to crack through because we had that delay. So we're going to quickly talk about last week. Yulwei, you want to give us a quick rundown?
Surprisingly, we still had a 15-game week. We thought this might have been our first 12-game week ever, but instead we had the average amount of games. So overall, a lot of very one-sided matchups. And I think almost everything went as we expected it to go. The only big upset, or maybe even just a minor upset at this point, EVOS beating Cerberus. So that one was the first time EVOS actually beat a top 5 team. A little bit of exciting news for EVOS fans. But everything else basically went as expected. The worst teams lost against the better teams. And everyone came out with about the same positioning they came into the week with, right?
Anything you want to add, Rebel?
Not really. All 4 of the top teams, they locked for playoffs last week, which I think is a big thing. There's nothing shocking about that given the records of the top 4 teams in the league, but certainly at least good stuff from them. It was GAM, Flash, Secret, Cerberus, all locked for playoffs now. No worries on their part, trying to get in there.
Yeah, and with that, we can take a quick look at the standings to see that, yes, we pretty much have our playoffs decided. We're just looking at that bottom spot with Percent and Buffalo, one of which is playing today. We'll see if Percent can grab that upset. And if we look at if we move quickly to predictions, we will see that's not really expected from most of us. Well, from everyone on cast, no.
But I mean, the leader is more than 10 points ahead of me, and they are predicting Percent to win today. So maybe they are on something here. Very interesting prediction. Didn't expect that to go through. But everything else looks pretty obvious. The last one, of course, is the big match. The last match of the week. We have Flash against GAM for first place. The first round was won by Flash. It was a super close affair. So Flash actually owns the head-to-head coming into the week, and if they win again, they are almost locked for first place. It's a very important one.
Yeah, that's. We'll talk a bit more about those matchups as we get to them. I'm sorry, we're just rushing through this a little bit, but one thing that is interesting that we really want to talk about, this is going to be our first week of 10-15. So let's look at these patches. And Rebel, start us off. What are the big changes?
I think there's one definitive change that we've seen in a couple of different places and in a couple of different ways, which is Caitlyn stepping in really, really quickly to being one of the top ADCs. I think with the nerfs to Aphelios, Misfortune kind of stepped back a little bit from the earlier season dominance. 𝗂𝗧 has been countered by the Ashe. We've been looking for something to step back into the pure #1 marksman role ever since Varus got taken out of it, and I think Caitlyn has finally stepped in.
In terms of nerfs, we see a lot of impactful nerfs. I think the buffs only really affect like 3-4 champions, maybe. I guess we can see a little bit more Yuumi. Caitlyn definitely is now the #1 ADC. Shen and Gragas can be a little more impactful. The other 4 champs I don't really expect to see much of. But then the nerfs are really big. Aphelios especially. Then Ornn gets another buff nerf. Ornn already was a very bad champion in the VCS. He spikes too late. He's not present for the important fights, and now he's even worse. Thresh is a very important one. This should put Bard even higher in priority. And one thing I am super excited for is the last column here, the buffs for the better support item, of course. Spell Thieves getting some extra mana regions, so it's very good for early mana trades. For your enchanters, you can spam your abilities all the time. You get more ability power. So if I ever see Yuumi not go through Spell Thieves again, I'll mold on cast. So it's a very good item now. Excited for that.
That it's getting to the point with that item that I have to consider it on Zilean, who has 1 damage ability, and it's really annoying to proc that thing. But it's just the increases are just too good. But I am hoping to see more Shen. I love that guy. He was probably my first main, if I remember. No, second main. I was a Nami one trick when I started.
Oh, good taste.
Throwback
Good
to
taste.
season 4.
But yeah, I think the most important patch, the most important part of the patch, of course, is Lilia. Lilia is here.
Oh, yes.
And I want to see some Lilia. We've seen some Lilia here and there. I think it was played yesterday in Academy, was played a few times in LPL, in some ERLs maybe too. So people have been experimenting with her. I think yesterday I saw the first time the team actually trying to put her top lane where she belongs, in my opinion. All the LPL games so far have been in the jungle, so excited to see what the VCS teams want to do with her, and I expect someone like Levi to jump on Lilia.
Yeah, that does seem. I mean, it's AP, so it must be up his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So we'll crack on to the actual matches of today. We're gonna take a look at the first matchup. Sorry, I almost said Artifact versus Percent. It is in fact Team Secret versus Percent. So we'll start with Rebel. Percent, they're fighting for that last spot. What can they do today to take it over? And we're going to take a special look at the mid lane. So take it away.
Certainly. I think there's a lot to be said about the mid lane being perhaps the best matchup for Percent, but across the map, I don't think that they've got, at least in a lot of people's eyes, the team that is going to be very competitive against somebody like Seeker, who's sitting in the top of the standings. And even better is of course, by punch 4%. They don't. This isn't like the last game for them. They have 2 games next week during that stretch of 4 series that we're going to have, where they play OPG and then they also play EVOS. 2 teams that are well better within their striking distance to try to close the gap for that playoff run. And so I don't think this is the most impactful game for them. And it does stink to say, and I know it's not what everyone wants to hear. And like, oh, we're not going to hear you going to throw down, try to win this one to get the playoffs. But it's not that super important. I think it's a lot more important that they use this week to try to get a grip on patch 10.15 so that we can move into next week. They have a more definitive style and they can take games against teams that are probably better, unless they're really trying to like smash them and sucker punch them with like a prepared draft set for this week.
Yeah, that is absolutely definitely the way we want to go. See out of Percent. We want to see them improve because there's potential on that roster. And hopefully with their new coach, we didn't really say it last week, but hopefully their new coach has finally had enough time to put in some work. Yulwei, I was going to make you do percent when I started. Sorry. Yulwei, you got to talk about Secret instead now. How you doing?
I don't mind. I don't mind. I like Team Secret. So
yeah, I know. That's why I wanted you to do percent.
Well, you tricked yourself. So Team Secret is coming off a 3-series win streak, and they have been looking better and better. Are now sitting at an almost 1k gold advantage at 15 minutes. So one of the better teams when it comes to that statistic. Very, very strong stats across the board. They are the ones who introduced the Galio and Camille combination. Honestly, no, actually, they started to play Twisted Fate Camille Nocturne, and then Galio was adopted by some other teams. But they were the first to bring all the globals into this league, and they have dominated the last few, or the global picks at least, have dominated the last few weeks here in the VCS. So it's good to see that Secret strategy has worked out for them, and I don't really expect this to change for today. The first matchup was actually super close between these two teams. Went 2-1 in Secret's favor, but it could have gone either way. But today I expect it to be a little bit less close, especially looking at Percent's recent form.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do we want to dive more, Rebel? Do we want to dive a little bit more into this global comp, focusing around the Nocturne and the? Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, we can do that, and maybe we look a little bit more into the mid lane specifically, like how they play, all that.
Yeah, so the first thing to note, I guess, about this, like the pure mid lane matchup is Artifact has I think one of the biggest champion pools I've seen of anybody in the VCS. In fact, I think he's tied for the most champions played right now, which is just ridiculous. So it's not just about the TF being able to pair with a lot of other champions. That's his most played, certainly, but it's not the only thing up the kind of the sleeve of Artifact and his ability to play. This team also has relatively low kill participation when you look across all players compared to a lot of other teams. That's because they like to skirmish. They like to play 2v2s, they like to play 3v3s. They don't like to play that pure 5-on-5 where everybody is contributing to every single kill. And you get to see that quite a bit with a lot of lane dominant picks and things that really match what the opposition is doing. On the other side, Glory is a very good player. There's like, if you look just holistically at the team, 4%, Glory is one of the highest performers on the team, and he doesn't have that same kind of champion ocean. But if you look at his stats, especially like across the board for the most part, he actually is very similar to 𝗬𝗏 in a lot of them. And 𝗬𝗏 is one of the best we've got in the league. So Glory cannot be underestimated in this mid lane matchup. But I do think that during the course of the series, Artifact's going to give it a lot of priority in terms of pick pressure.
Yeah.
And I like this comparison you drew to 𝗬𝗏, but there's one big difference in champions played. So I think the playstyle is maybe quite similar to 𝗬𝗏, but the champions played are actually not that similar, especially when it comes to the Orianna priority. 𝗬𝗏 has by far the most Orianna games in the league and looked insanely strong on her. And 𝗬𝗏 only has played Orianna 2 times. His most played is 𝗬𝗏, only in a 40% win rate. His KDA, admittedly, is looking very good on this champion, but I feel like Percent needs to put him in better carry positions a little bit more often, give him more of the late game hyper carry, or at least control carry mages like the Orianna. Like his Rise, he has looked pretty good on the Rise. I liked his 𝗧𝗲 too. He has only won one 𝗧𝗲 game so far, but yeah, I feel like Percent needs to shift their priority a little bit and put Glory in the position to carry and not let him set up other people on the team, because the other people on this team don't really succeed in carrying.
Yes. As we all know, I constantly scream, get Glory Zoe whenever possible, and he has forgone that Zoe for karma before, and that was the day my heart broke. That was not a good day. But yeah, as we say that, we are moving on to the draft phase. Finally, 10-15. Expect that Caitlyn priority. There's the Zoe I was just talking about off the table. Yulwei, what sort of composition are we thinking to see out of Percent?
Percent. Ooh, that's very hard to predict in my opinion. 10-15. We could see something like Sona Lux even come up for Percent. They have 𝗑𝗀 in the lineup, and he was the only Sona player in the whole VCS last year when Sona Turek was the thing. So it's pretty hard to predict what they've been practicing on this patch, but usually would see a utility mid laner with a strong jungler, especially as 𝗧𝗏 is in, then some laning focused top laner for YT, like 𝗏𝗏, like Renekton maybe. So maybe something in that direction.
And Rebel, what's your team secret predictions while we finish the rounding out of the bands? Lilia's banned, unfortunately.
Oh.
But with the Lilia ban, that does mean that Caitlyn gets to play here, and I do think that that's at least a little bit of a slip, although they just completely ignore that, go right back to the karma, making sure Glory can't get his hands on that champion. Again, I think it's important for either bot laner to be able to grab that one. I do think it's a little bit more of a celebrity champion, but if it's snagged here by the opposite side and Big Koro is going to get his hands on it, that would be for an interesting bot lane setup here.
Yeah, it is worth mentioning. Ashe is still open, probably the best pick into it from the AD carry role. Not a winning matchup.
Ashe Karma can actually win Caitlyn lanes. Very few champs can contest Caitlyn in the laning phase to the point where they can actually win, but Karma Ashe could definitely do that. The Eagle is in, and Eagle is on one of the VCS specials, of course, Nidalee. Nidalee for Eagle hasn't... Okay, it's the second most played champion, so actually something he has piloted a whole lot of. And there we see Camille, and is Gallia going to come in?
Yeah,
or is it going to be Nocturne?
We're seeing Secret go back to their tried and true. Camille, and probably something to go on top of that. Where is it? Come on, Artifact, stop teasing me. But yes, we've said this. Caitlyn can go into it. Another thing that works into Caitlyn is perhaps this Jhin pick. If this Karma does join him, that's a decent laning. Go on, you had something to say?
Well, I don't really mind the Jhin too much with the Camille, because I feel like as a secondary, as a follow-up carry, as someone who stands behind and just pokes from behind and follows up on the engage, he works fine. I really don't like Jhin as one of the main carries. I feel like he's severely lacking in damage. So I want to see some more damage from Team Secret, because so far it looks a little bit lacking on that part to me.
And it's going to be the Renekton for 𝗬𝗺.
𝗬𝗺 is in.
That is
Yikes.
That could present quite an issue. We've only seen him on the Rumble, and that was one of the worst Rumble games I've ever witnessed. But that aside, Rebel, at the start of these comps, how do you feel about Secret's comp so far with these 3 lock-ins?
Yeah, I like the Karma that's capably flexed, especially Yulwei said Karma can win into the Caitlyn lane. And I know way back in the day when Jhin had first come out, there was, I remember Caitlyn was kind of in the meta, and Jhin was a response to Caitlyn at the time. Right now, though, Jhin is a lot better of a response to the Ashe because of her lack of mobility. There's a little bit on the Caitlyn, especially when she has that 90 caliber net, and she out DPSs him when she's got some of the attack speed and the crits start to come through, as he had made mention of. It's a lot better when you're able to cancel out a burst damage, because most ADCs, they can't get a lot of damage out if they pick something like 𝗀𝗏 or if they pick something like LeBlanc. Jhin has a lot easier job trying to get DPS out by just putting a single bullet into them doing 800 damage in one burst, rather than trying to get 3 autos off and 1-2 of them crit during that process. So that's some of it, at least. But again, I agree. I don't think the Caitlyn lane is particularly one here, especially now that it's paired with this Lux.
Yep. And Yulwei, how are you liking the percent draft so far?
I think it's very strong. Strong lanes, very good early game jungler. They've last picked for glory and still secured 2 winning lanes already. So it's a very good draft, especially in response to what Secret is drafted. I feel like Percent has a very good chance at this game. Of course, 𝗬𝗺 against 𝗀𝗽 might be a little bit of player diff. Oh, as we have some spicy picks on the other side.
So it's going to be that set in the mid lane. That's one way to deny counterpick. Just remove the lane altogether. As we see, there is the rise, and we see the finished off compositions. So lots of engage on the side of Team Secret. Decent early game out of Percent with a rise for late game. But hasn't early game been the weak point for Percent? Rebel. It has, hasn't it?
I'm pretty sure that it's been a pretty bad say, especially with 𝗬𝗺 in. I know like 𝗬𝗺 is not particularly the best laner in the world, and giving him something like Renekton is a little questionable. I am really curious if they're willing to put Renekton in the mid lane, because I think Renekton's a fantastic matchup into set, and not as much into Camille. Not saying that it's bad into Camille, only that it's probably a little bit worse against the Camille than against the set. And Ryze can handle either of those lanes, because pretty much he's just going to try to keep his range and just farm up as best as possible. So I'm curious if they ever make a play like that happen here.
That's an interesting one. Would like to see that. Though I think Renekton is very solid into Camille, so I feel like these traditional lane setups could work well for Percent as well. I actually don't mind Percent going for an early game composition, because you can go 2 ways here, right? You can say, okay, their early game is not great, so you have to put all your eggs in the late game basket and hope to make it there. Or you could say, our late game is actually very good, so we just have to get there somehow. So let's draft the strongest lanes possible. Even though they might fall off a little bit, our late game is still good enough to make it work in the late game, even with weaker late game champs. So we want to draft something that can actually stand up in the early game. So I don't actually mind this too much. I feel like they are very strong lanes, especially in bot and top lane, and mid lane should just be able to equalize everything that the set wants to do.
All right, well, with that, well, we're not quite on the rift, but so I'm going to just say my piece, which is, never mind, the rift is here. So my piece is very short. I like both these comps. They both fit very nicely into 10-15 seems to be more favored for Percent in terms of draft, but I think Secrets fits their playstyle very well. What are your final thoughts and predictions, Rebel?
I like that 𝗏 is trying something a little new in an earlier game composition. Even 𝗏𝗏, he isn't a great performer, but I like the fact that they bring him in top lane to see if there's maybe something there for a playoff run potentially. I love the Caitlyn Lux in the bottom lane. They're not going to win this game. 𝗬𝗎 takes this one.
All right. Well, with that, Yulwei, you're on cast, so we'll just say goodbye and say hello every day.
Well, hello, Vinny. It's nice to meet you, mate. Happy to be here. Thank you for filling in as host. You always do a better job than me anyway, so love having it. But here we go, Yulwei. We've got some interesting drafts here for sure. Gotta say, I'm not a big fan of giving away the Caitlyn just to get yourself a karma.
Nope.
But I do think they've assembled a comp that, try as you might, Big Coro, I don't know if you will be the long arm of the law today.
I'm a little bit confused with this Team Secret draft. When it came to drafting priority, securing a blind Camille and then not following it up with a Galio or Nocturne, but instead going Jhin when Jhin and Ashe are still open. Doesn't really make much sense to me. We have to see. I actually think 𝗀𝗃𝗃's Camille is one of his weakest of the, I guess, 4 or 5 champs he has presented to us as his big counter or carry champs in the top lane. His Camille has looked a little bit lackluster. He's inted a few times on the turret. He gets caught in the side lane. So I actually don't think his Camille is one of his stronger champs. I'm a little bit disappointed with this draft, but we have to see what he does against 𝗏𝗏, because of course 𝗏𝗏 not really known to be one of the better top laners. In fact, I would argue he's not VCS level.
I would 100% agree. I think 𝗏𝗏 has been very bad. I don't know why 𝗏 is giving him time. He should just be going to a VCS B team. At this point, you just sell him for pennies to a VCS team. He's not worth anything. It sounds harsh, and it is harsh, as Artifact will get a good face breaker there. Starts off well against Glory.
He timed with the cannon minion too.
Yeah.
That was a very cool trait. And we see the 𝗏𝗏, of course, paying attention to the top lane. 𝗏𝗏 always likes to go top lane first.
𝗏𝗏 doesn't have hookshot here, but it goes into a minion, the spear that is. Eagle takes a tower shot for no reason, but 𝗏𝗏 is forced back under tower.
That was very close to actually breaking open this top lane. Look at the wave. If they kill 𝗏𝗏 here, he can't teleport back because he's under threat of being redived, so he will lose the whole wave. That was very close to a very good start on the top side for 𝗏. Now they have given up a lot of time, though. So on the other side, DNK able to secure 𝗧𝗏𝗏 and control the bot side river. His top side chems are still up. Interesting path he took here. Very bot side focused.
Yeah, DNK went buff to buff. DNK went buff to buff as a Shyvana. It's very strange. I was going to bring it up before we had that little play in the top lane. Something else I'd like to ask you.
Something very strange there, by the way. He recalled with his W up, I think.
Oh.
And the 𝗧𝗏𝗏 was sitting on like 70, 80 HP, I'd guess. So he started his recall animation. The 𝗧𝗏𝗏 was still living at that point, and it died exactly as he hit the base. So
hang on a minute. 𝗏𝗏 could be in a little bit of trouble. Eagle's going to have a look
this
here.
time.
𝗏𝗏 charges forward. The hookshot's used. Gets the stun. That was a flash from the Renekton. I'm not even sure what happened there, but now 𝗏𝗏 is on the run. He's used nothing. 𝗏𝗏 used flash, and the gank gets nothing. 𝗏𝗏's even
They still want to make it work. Eagle is here.
Yeah.
𝗏𝗏 needs to be careful.
Over the wall.
Oh, he got hit by the trap. No, Eagle has the longer jump.
No, it fades away. DNK's here. It's all good in the hood, I think. He hit another trap on the way out, but in the end, everything is diffused. That Renekton flash, not 100% sure what happened there. It looked like he kind of flashed on the spot. But what I wanted to bring up to you...
So he wanted... Yeah.
Sorry, no. Finish the point about top lane. Go ahead.
So he wanted to flash into the first hookshot. What he managed to do was flash into the second part of the hookshot, which stunned him, of course, because he gets stunned, as we have another gank attempted in top lane. 𝗏𝗏 is in a very bad spot. He's overextending in the lane all the time, but he still has flash, of course. So can he get away from the third
attempt? In goes 𝗏𝗏, trying to get away. There's the stun, and this time 𝗏𝗏 will just flash. And Eagle has used a lot of time top. It's got Team Secret the first dragon. 𝗏𝗏, you are so cocky here. Just walking straight back up. But he is okay. So, with Eagle hitting the base, I think we can not talk about top lane for a few seconds. Can I ask you something? You've gone Caitlyn Lux. right? The logic is sound.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh no.
Why didn't you pick Nami? You're against the Jhin. The wave is sick against Jhin. Why didn't you pick Nami? That was a similar thing in lane. It's just a lane bully. And then you just, Jhin, you're ulting? Cool, I just throw a wave at you. Good luck, dude.
I think Lux is a little bit better at catching targets. It's a little bit longer range. It's pretty good at disengaging too. And Nami is decent at disengaging too, with ultimate, of course. Yeah. Laning phase, I would argue, is a little stronger
we've
for
got
Nami.
Tado going for the kill. He hit level 6 first.
Yeah, he has no flash. He can't go for the kill.
Yep. Now, but look at this. The reinforcements are arriving. Did he see them? I don't think he did. He's going back towards the tower. No, Realm Warp. He just rolls away. Glory. I think that Realm Warp
from Glory.
That Realm Warp gave the game away.
That gave it away. They could have just walked there. I don't think the Realm Warp was needed. If you want a Realm Warp there, Realm Warp way deeper under the turret. Why would you Realm Warp where he could just run away from you? That actually gave Coded so much time. He lost a plating, almost 2 platings, and he's still level 5. But it's okay in terms of this matchup when it comes to CS. Wow, that's a very aggressive teleport from Tado.
Yeah, I mean, he can't
He's banking on the fact that DNK is not there to punish. DNK is actually level 6, so Tado could have killed himself here.
Potentially, but in the end, he is okay. Coded will head back to base. Actually, not a good recall for him. He'll almost certainly lose another plate. Could potentially lose 2. But they've invested all of this time top. But here's the gank in the mid lane. Can DNK do better than Eagle? Glory's taken a lot. Artifact is trying to go forward, trying to get this rise. Can he beat this blue man to death? And there's the face breaker. He breaks open the blue man group. And that is a much more successful gank.
DNK on the other side of the gang, actually with some very good stutter stepping, some very good dodging on the Nidalee spears. Yeah. If he got hit by any of the spears, he would have died. So when we see the replay, we can see how well he played that one. But of course, Artifact with the main job, I guess, there, who gets the first kill. We see a lot of mid lane set. He's usually a full tank. Okay. And he deals still a lot of damage, as you can see. That's a big burst hitting Eagle there.
Let's have a look at this replay. Let's try and watch DNK this status
face breaker. Yeah, DNK comes in, gets stunned here. I don't think Glory should stun him. I think he should definitely stun Artifact, because there isn't much Eagle can do against Artifact. Artifact just ignore him.
That was lovely.
Yep, a very nice movement there. Dodged everything.
Oh, Coded died.
Absolutely
Coded just got solo killed by Tado.
Man.
That's a sentence that feels wrong to say.
Absolutely does.
I'm assuming it's a solo kill.
Yeah, look at where he died. That was very far up the lane. He's really struggling with wave control in this game. Yeah. For some reason, Coded getting outplayed in the wave state, got exposed himself to a lot of ganks early on with just perma pushing the wave in, and now died again. Way too far forward.
We go straight
Let's see what happens.
Replay. This is cocky. You're a level down, Coded.
He gets an okay. There was a little bit of Camille mechanics he messed up there, because usually when you trade forward, you want to trade with your shield and then not trade after your shield is off. Especially with this setup, Grasp is short trades, right? Grasp wants 1 stack and then you want to go out again. So he saw the good trade and he landed a good trade with the initial auto attack there, because he got the shield. Renekton couldn't really trade back, but then he got a little bit too cocky, got a little bit ahead of himself and thought, okay, he's half HP, I can go for the all-in. But then he didn't have the shield available for the following at all-in. He doesn't have Conqueror, so he doesn't really have the damage for full all-in. So he misplayed that pretty badly.
Yep.
And once again, we see Coded on Camille isn't really the greatest combination we have seen from him.
No, it's probably his worst champion. It's super disappointing. We expect great things out of Coded, but on this pick, he's just really nothing special. Of course, while we were talking about that, we did see the Rift Herald being secured by DNK. That's a good little bit of gold that should be able to be secured. And I'd like to direct your eyes to Jin's inventory.
Yes, I just spotted that as well. That's an exciting one. Where is he going with this one?
Lethality Jhin.
Lethality Jhin, even though he went fleet footwork. That's interesting to me.
I think Fleet
I would
Footwork
expect
is just for the lane. You need the
I think
sustain.
lethality Jin likes to go Comet, no? I've seen a lot of Comet lethality Jin, but
Artifact
never mind.
coming on in. The
Artifact
show
trying to
gets stopped. 𝗧𝗲, can he get out of here, or will it be a ratings bomb? He's just going to go for the return kill onto 𝗀𝗃𝗃. Lots of damage coming in. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 needs to be so careful. This is an angry crocodile. Rampaging here. Artifact gets sliced down. This is an absolute disaster. 𝗧𝗲 could get the double kill. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 could die to minions, but no, just gets away. And Team Secret, what are you doing? And we've gone straight into the bot lane. Venus taking all this damage. 𝗲𝗲 gets hit by a bomb into that deadly flourish. It hasn't proved deadly yet. DNK, though, will be feeling it as the dragon is slain. 𝗲𝗏𝗺 coming in now. Celebrity's in so much trouble. He just flashes on out.
What?
Team Secret.
No one took the demo.
I don't understand what is going on. And Team Secret not looking what we want. How we want. I don't know. My casting's as good as their play right now.
They are really losing everything here on the map. Top lane was a disaster, but let's look at bot lane first. We see Venus actually with a very nice engage, gets a lot of damage on 𝗃𝗃. He has to flash away, ignite on him. Maybe a little bit too far forward now on the chase. Good dodges. Venus played this almost perfectly.
Yeah.
Dodges that one as well, gets healed. So this whole trade, this whole passage of play in bot lane was nicely done. They spot Eagle on the pink ward, but 𝗀𝗃𝗃 went through a pink ward too, so they had full vision. Venus is dead, to be fair.
I don't think that flash forward is necessary.
That flash is
You're
very
flashing
bad
into a
from DNK,
2v4.
for sure.
Like,
yeah, and also he just uses ult and his E. And if you don't know AP Shyvana, all her damage is on ult and E. So if you use ult and E and then flash forward, what are you trying to accomplish? There isn't no damage left in your kid. You have to wait for your E to come back up. You can flash up when your E is back up. No problem. Just wait for your E to dance around a little bit and then flash E. But Eing and then flashing in doesn't make any sense at all. And he just gave his life away.
It's very true. Caitlyn now has mined her first tower, has crafted herself the Stormrazor as well, a very dominant, that is a big spike. As Eagle, he's looking to get a good spike in as well. The spear lands, but it doesn't look like they want to go for the dive. As that's probably a good decision with the rotate coming on down. Artifact is here. Can they catch on to anything? Nope, he'll just soak the traps up and go back to mid.
He just took all the traps away. So let's look at the top lane itemization for a little bit. We flamed 𝗧𝗃𝗃 coming into this game, but so far he has been having a stellar performance. Putting on a stellar performance. 30 CS up, almost 35 now. 2 kills to 0. And first item completed. There's no way Camille can trade right now. She's so far away from her first item. Actually, doesn't even have a single part of the Trinity Force yet, while the enemy top laner has one item and Artifact running very fast.
𝗀𝗃𝗃 getting dove, gets a grass proc and flashes, and does get away. No, he's away. He's gone. Are we not in sync? What's your timestamp? Okay.
I think I'm like 2 seconds behind or something. 36.7.
Oh, you're
8.
like 5 seconds behind. We'll have to fix that up.
I'll try to catch up.
Yep, you might want to do that. I'm at 47, 48, 49. 𝗃𝗃𝗃 does get flourished. Can they get the charge onto this tower? This is a Rift Herald that doesn't charge. Team Secret, have they not been scrimming this week? What's going on? This is one of the worst early game performances we've seen out of them. Ever.
Yeah. They are a little bit of a striky team. They tend to have some very bad games here and there, and then they impress a lot with creative picks and stuff. So, bad look so far, of course. All the lanes basically losing, every single one, which, looking at the draft, if you turn nameplates off, makes a little bit of sense, because, of course, all the lanes from percent are very strong laners. But looking at the player strength, that shouldn't happen. At least botlane actually has played well so far.
I still don't understand this Ghost
might not be enough.
And it looks like he's going into
a little bit of a mystery.
He's going into crit now. Why is there one random lethality item? What's that for?
Lethality is very strong early game, right? Because, DNK, a little bit of trouble.
He's out of there. He has ult. They can't commit onto him.
Yeah, indeed. So, before the armor, the base armor scales, before you build armor items, it's of course very strong to have
hang on,
lethality.
𝗀𝗃𝗃's been caught here by 𝗧𝗃𝗃. He's 2 levels down. There is a blast cone, but he can't get to it. Hook shots over the wall. But this is not a lane anymore. 𝗀𝗃𝗃, he just has to surrender.
I actually feel like 𝗬𝗺 could try to chase a little bit harder. I think in solo queue he would go for the solo kills there, but of course he knew that DNK was hanging around on top side, so maybe a little bit scared of the Dragon Lady coming in. Instead, just going to take the first turret, and he's so far ahead. This Crocodile is not falling off for a while, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is a bit ridiculous. Honestly, 𝗬𝗺, I mean, I was shocked to see him in. I thought that was a ridiculous decision. In the past, though, his Renekton's actually been fine. I think it's been the one champion he's been pretty good on. Potentially, maybe they should have banned it. But they didn't.
They blind pick Camille and open themselves up for the Renekton counter pick. It's one of the most easiest and most telegraphed counter picks in the game. And Camille can do fine into Renekton, but it's definitely a lane that is favorable for Renekton, with all the early attention from one of the strongest top lane ganking champion in Italy too. It's quite easy to see him get accelerated. Then also the solo kill happened. Coded now very far behind. How do they get back into this game? I feel like it has to come from DNK and Coded mostly, because Jhin is here as a secondary carry. It's not really there to really dominate the game. Set also is full tank, so he's just there to set up and get all the CC on the back line. So it definitely has to come from the top side. And Coded is very far away from items. He's not actually going Trinity. He wants to go for first item Revenant's Hydra for a little bit more sustain, maybe a little bit more ability to stay in lane after a bad trade. 𝗬𝗺.
Yeah, we'll try and go forward. They are contesting around Shirley. Team Secret has the numbers at the moment, but if they don't get this going soon, that will be equalized.
Oh, patience. The patience bar. Ugh.
Oh, there's the reset. They'll get the crab, which gives them priority on it for a while, and we'll start it up again. Jhin is now making his way up, so this should be an objective for Team Secret.
Yeah, they have invested a lot of time and resources to get this one. Artifact Court in the mid lane, but he's full tank. He's fine.
He's full tank set. Just pops that Haymaker. Doesn't really matter. And there is the Rift Herald secured. Yeah, okay, DNK. It's scared enough for a moment.
So, to be honest, Percent is like, okay, the last Rift Herald didn't go anywhere, so whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
We don't really care about this one.
And look what it's trading
And in
for.
the meantime, yep, �奧is getting a lot of damage on the turret. �奧actually hasn't had the most impressive early games for Caitlyn. We expect a little bit more from Caitlyn, I believe. I think she's one of the strongest, most dominant champions in this patch. So maybe a little bit disappointing, especially paired with one of the strongest laning supports for Caitlyn too. Lisa on the Lux, not super impressive either. But of course, Jhin Karma is no slouch.
Oh no, this is a little bit dangerous, but Celebrity evacuates in time. Thought he might get pinched in.
Very, very little CC setup between the three of them. So the enemy team basically has to step into traps for them to ever get caught. So or to ever get going, I guess, because there's no CC on Italy. The CC for Lux is easy to dodge.
What are traps this game? 3 champions with traps.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Only one of the traps actually has CC on it, or hard CC, I should say, because, of course, in Italy, the Jhin trap's slow and can be quite annoying. It can deadly flourish afterwards.
So, just to point it out, his E is called Captive Audience, but it's not his CC spell.
That's true. Actually, could just swap the names of W and E. It would make a lot of sense.
I don't think Deadly Flourish quite works. I think Jhin is ridiculously well designed. They nailed that thing.
He is. Yeah, he is.
He's so cool.
Especially using his ultimate is like. Well, I always feel bad using the ultimate because I can't hit a single shot. I'm so bad at that. The zooming out is something I just can't do. I can't hit ult shots from 𝗧𝗲 or for Jhin. I'm so bad at that. I'm not sure why, but it feels cool because there's music playing and it's like woohoo.
I got to be a very smart boy on Reddit the other day. Someone posted that most ADCs, or maybe not most, it's like a bunch of ADCs are left-handed in the game, which obviously is not expected because most people are right-handed. And they included Jhin as left-handed because he does hold his gun in his left hand. But did you know that lore-wise, he is right-handed, he uses his left hand to make it harder for him? He also covers one of his eyes with his mask. He's only got one eye hole, and that's his bad eye that he can see out of. Jhin is just a masochist that tries to make it hard
could
for
actually
himself.
be so much better as a champion.
Yeah,
That explains a lot.
This is lore-wise, obviously. Yeah, no, he is like the best marksman. He's like ridiculous. He's like peak human.
Actually, Jhin against Caitlyn was one of the matchups in one of the skits. I'm not sure what it's called.
Yeah, it's Camille and Jhin. They fight in the theater. It's a really cool cinematic.
Yeah.
It's very
no, I'm not talking about the cinematic. I'm talking about a fan-made thing where Jhin fights against Caitlyn. I think it's a series of fan-made matchups between champions.
Oh,
and
yeah, I know the ones. But, 𝗬𝗏 dashing away. We're a little bit off topic.
What's
This
he doing
game
there?
is... I think he was just clearing a ward. He's fine.
Slowed down a little bit because Team Secret has no agency anymore. They can't really do anything. They have one dragon for themselves, so they don't actually need to contest the third one. This could actually be a very bad decision if they take it. They have a little bit of control here, so they start the dragon, but they are all crawled in the in this pit, of course. So
there's the dragon secured though. They're going straight in on 𝗬𝗏. They want to try and blow him up. DNK kiting away, but Eagle will find him. He dodges the spear. Can he get another E out? That might be enough. He flashes over, but the Lux laser will be his 𝗬𝗏𝗺𝗁𝗃. I don't know how to say it. I tried.
Only one kill. That's actually very decent for Team Secret. They
that's really
got
good.
away with a lot here. They stalled all the dragon snowballs, so now Percent has something to think about. We're at 21 minutes, and they are trying to run it Baron. So speaking of thinking about things, they killed the enemy jungler. 4 people still alive, but they're all reset.
Fairly fast Baron too. It's down to 6k
Rise,
health. Artifact is arriving. But this is only 3k health left. In goes the Deadly Flourish. Artifact is on the front line. That's Baron secured. He gets a big shield. That's a lot of true damage. 𝗏 stops his way out. Coded in the middle of the enemy team. Can't get anything done. Eagle definitely can. There's the first kill. And bang! The ace in the hole is actually a pair of ducks as he can't get that kill. But Percent get the massive swing.
What a great macro adaptation for Percent. They look quite risky, only killing one member, but they read the situation perfectly. Team Secret reset after Dragon, which made a lot of sense. They were chunked quite a bit. But Percent immediately run at Baron. They have a very fast Baron, as you pointed out, of course, with Glory on Rise. He has one of the highest damage on Baron for a mage.
Artifact tried so hard.
Artifact really tried. But there isn't enough damage, follow-up damage. 𝗀𝗀𝗃 is not strong enough. 𝗀𝗃 goes down first. And we talked about Jhin a lot this game. He is not the primary carry. Even though he got a lot of shots in, it's Jhin. He's not playing TFT, so it's not quite a strong champion.
Yeah. Ooh, TFT Jhin though. Ooh, level 3 Jhin.
TFT Jhin.
But yeah, it's hard to see Percent losing this one. They're 6k gold up. Their composition is working exactly as it should, while the wheels have fallen off the Team Secret wagon. Camille couldn't even go Triforce this game. She's 60 CS down and just had to finish an item.
So far behind.
She had to finish the item.
I was actually thinking, they want another play on
They're
𝗏𝗏𝗺.
trying to skin the croc, and look at the teleports. They have to try and burst him out, but they can't do it. He's too tanky. Venus now, he'll get trapped up. That's a bit of a stolen kill. The Realm Warp will bring them forward. Coded uses that Hextech ultimatum, trying to make some space. The dragon will dive. Is it going to be enough? DNK is getting away. There is the big ultimate. Can he put on a show? No, Lisa denies it all. What a spoil sport.
I mean, to be honest, he couldn't have hit anything there. So there was a Hail Mary attempt, I guess, from Team Secret. They should have known about the teleports. I guess they just thought maybe we can kill them before 4 seconds of channel are completed. And to be fair, there isn't really much they can play for anymore. Their composition is not going to come online. They basically need free 2,000 gold for 𝗀𝗃 to do anything in this game.
Oh,
and that's not going to happen.
I mean,
yeah.
Don't give Caitlyn away. It wasn't the biggest punish this game. They had the Jhin pick ready, but you can see what Caitlyn does. She's got a bad build as well.
Caitlyn, I actually think we have a new everyday's item check-in.
Yep.
With Caitlyn's now.
We lost Kai'Sa.
We lost Kai'Sa, but now we have Caitlyn. This Caitlyn build isn't the greatest, but at least she's so far ahead that she actually has two big items
They're
now.
trying to go on 𝗬𝗺 again. They want to get revenge for 𝗀𝗽𝗺, but once again, he is just coated in the baked beans as they find him the ace in the hole. This time is the winning hand.
At this point, we are just watching very desperate attempts from Team Secret to get at least one kill back. They know that they can't stand in a fight. They just can't get over 𝗬𝗺. 𝗬𝗺 is so tanky, deals so much damage.
Let's be realistic.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's interesting to see the first game on 10-15, some interesting priorities. I think Team Secret outdrafted themselves. I still feel like they're drafting priorities. I don't mind their draft as a whole, but I really don't like how they put together the champions. Blind pick Camille, then following it up by Jhin, or with Jhin, instead of Nocturne or Galio, to prop up the Camille even more. So I don't really understand what they wanted to go for here. And in the end, I'm just a really big Jhin hater. I think the champion is hot garbage and should never be played. And once again, we see he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Just pick Ashe. Ashe goes even in lane with Caitlyn. She's the 150-50 matchup. Just pick it.
Yeah, and Ashe was open at Ashe. Karma actually wins against Caitlyn lanes. Maybe not against Caitlyn Lux, but should at least go even, especially with this Lux. Playing very defensive in the early game. Actually didn't go for the buffed 𝗬𝗺, which is surprising.
It is very surprising. I guess was a little bit.
She's
afraid
also
of
still falling.
Stepping up to a Jhin.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a little bit risky. It's not the tanky Lux from last season anymore. At least we actually see good masteries now. Last week, of course, we saw the first Caitlyn Lux, I think, in the hands of 𝗬𝗺, and they played Lux with Aftershock, which was not great. So at least we see modern Lux with interesting rune choices. Looking at it right now, that she actually went red secondary. So something like Zombie Ward and Ravenous, maybe, or Ultimate Hunter. The Ultimate Hunter doesn't really make sense on this champion, so
yeah,
not sure. Maybe Ingenious Hunter for more item cooldown, so she can spam all the active items.
Potentially. Let's see if we can find out after the game. If we look on certain websites, they often have it. I am curious.
Did you know that Ingenious actually cuts your cooldown for trinkets as well?
Yes, I did.
It's very nice. You can spam a lot of wards. Artifact with a very deep flank, and 𝗬𝗏 wants to follow
𝗬𝗏
too.
flying on in, but that E will miss. Artifact trying to get the party started, but he can't even stop the show, as he just has to retreat.
That was super sad to watch. He
Yep.
just ran in there with the
stop picking Set,
ghost
guys.
super fast.
Stop picking Set. He's not good on this patch. Please stop picking Set.
I think Set is still quite a strong champion.
Oh, he goes on in, trying to throw everything. He gets a good face breaker into the big haymaker. Eagle got trucked, but look at that redemption heal. It's just completely nullified. And, well, you tried Artifact, but no dice.
Sadly, his team wasn't on the same page. His team just watched him jump into the enemy team.
What is DNK doing? They can just end the game. They know he's there. They're just going to walk in. You're trading the mid lane tower for the game. DNK, back! What is going on? 𝗀𝗽𝗺 goes down. They do trade it onto 𝗬𝗺. Here comes the Jhin ult, and Lisa just throws the ult. It's not enough. He's on the platform, of course. DNK finally back. Questionable if it's worth that trade. Artifact going on in, lands the facebreaker. DNK, he will blow Lisa up. Artifact manages to get away as well. The Realm Warp gets them out. Can the dragon chase on in? Not through the Caitlyn net. Will they try and keep this going?
DNK quietly is actually very high level. Look at this animation. What is that?
She's wiggling. She's wiggling. Artifact's actually got a big flank here. This actually could continue here. This could be the turnaround. This could be the flip. He's got hit by that Storm Razor. Ooh, weaves his way around the spear. He's charging on in. Glory is absolutely gone. There's the ace in the hole on Venus, but the shutdown comes in. 𝗀𝗽𝗺 rolls over the wall. But look at the base teleports. This is smart. This teleport stops any Baron attempt, as 𝗬𝗺 is just going to knock a Nexus tower down.
You might want to continue. They are still getting chased off.
They're pinging the mid in him. They want to try and take that tower.
Yeah, makes sense.
Eagle, careful.
There's one wave hitting that. So bot lane inhibitor is still... Oh, wow. That is actually a very unfortunate situation in the bot lane. The super minions ignored the respawning inhibitor and went under turret. So it could not actually do much for a percent. So that was a little bit unfortunate there. With the inhibitor respawning in bot lane, the big super minion wave got nullified completely. Now it's on percent to find the next play. Top lane is still pushed in constantly with the super minions, and they are still 6k gold ahead. So Baron shouldn't be a big problem. We have a lot of items on Glory. He's close to level 16. Actually, a little bit behind in levels right now. Hasn't really had the time to go to the side lane to collect a little bit of single target experience, which is quite valuable on this champion, of course. We see all the vision control, the top lane control with the super minions. Look at how long it takes for 𝗀𝗃𝗃 to clear this one super minion.
𝗀𝗃𝗃 is
oh man.
𝗀𝗃𝗃 is not in this game. This is Baron. Uncontestable, I think. I think Team Secret has to contest it, but I don't think it is contestable. If they lose this Baron, they just may as well FF. Artifact soaks up a trap to let Celebrity slip through. Baron does reset. Percent playing this very, very carefully. Makes a lot of
they
sense.
can. They have top lane pressure, so 𝗀𝗃𝗃 needs to respond to that one. They are going to lose
as well.
Oh, and that's
there we go. The double teleport. They're just going to try and trade it out. The laser does not quite stop the back, but it's only 𝗀𝗃𝗃. Can they do it? They can with the binding. They've just stopped all the backs. This is game. They're just going to get the Nexus. Big bang bong. That's the win.
Play. That was so cool. Lisa actually throwing himself forward to stop all the backs. Very nice support play, and we have percent winning the first game in dominant fashion.
That was not a close game. We did not expect that, for sure. We'll be back in just a few minutes for our analyst to break it all down. Don't go anywhere, guys. We hope you are enjoying the show, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. See you guys then.
Welcome back, everyone. And in a shocking turn of events, 𝗏𝗏 carried percent to a victory. Yulwei, what happened?
Played
How did he do
well.
this?
After some initial hiccups in the laning phase with some questionable positioning, he actually solo kill-coated. He ran away with the game. He had very good positioning in team fights, actually bought a lot of time for his team and didn't die. So, what can you say? Very good Renekton performance.
Who is this player? And
I
what has he
don't
done
know
with
either.
𝗏𝗏? Because this is not what we expected. But yeah, fair play. Props to him. He did really well. On the other side, Secret did not do so well. Rebel, anything in particular stand out to you as just weird, wacky, wonderful? Not wonderful?
Yeah, two things. First, I'm really shocked that Eagle just got to bang his head against the wall and do whatever he wanted at the Nidalee. And yeah, like he got out farmed by the Shyvana, but that's the only punishment. Because how many times did he go top lane without getting literally anything? Did anyone keep count? I lost count after like 6.
At least 3.
4 or 5
the third
times,
time
yeah.
he got a flash.
Yeah, that's right. He got a flash the one time, and somehow they just couldn't punish across the rest of the map. The Jhin build, I think, was also really, really interesting to me. And the reason you go for something like the Youmuu's start is when you're playing against low armor targets, Youmuu's actually gives you about a 10 to 12% increase in your total DPS up against somebody like that, especially when you're weaving abilities in like Qs, Ws, ults, things of that sort, which is better in the early game as opposed to the crit, especially if you're trying not to get close against the Caitlyn, against the Lux, things of that sort. The problem was, I don't think it was necessary this game because they really heavily needed the DPS for fights. And so the map fell apart around him, even though in the laning phase, it was probably better to go something like the Youmuu's. Personally, and this sounds crazy, I think Sanguine Blade's really good, especially if you've got a roaming support to pair with it, because you've got a ton of extra mobility and a ton of lifesteal to pair with a lot of the Youmuu's. But of course, that's
And the attack speed gives you a lot of extra AD too, right?
Exactly.
Wouldn't
Yeah, it's really efficient item.
Wouldn't it be better against a roaming support rather than with a roaming support?
Either way, it'd be just like
okay.
kind of as a matching. Either way, so
Yeah.
exactly the case. But yeah, that's the idea, especially against like Ezreal. If Ezreal's playing with like a Bard or something that likes to get out on the map,
Yeah.
perfect itemization. Or against
Interesting.
Yuumi, because Yuumi attaches, and when she attaches, she's no longer in the laning phase. But it's not a discussion for Sanguine Blade Jhin. It's actually a discussion for, I don't think lethality was a poor choice. It was that the map fell apart around them and they weren't able to take advantage of that bottom lane.
That's fair.
What do you think about the set mid lane?
The set mid lane. I mean, into the Rise, I never expected it to do anything. Honestly, I would have preferred him go like the Bomby Cinder and then immediately just leave the lane anytime he had the option to, just because of the fact that I don't think it does anything into the Rise early. Yeah, I think he got the one decent trade, but outside of that, that's pretty much all he got. So
yeah,
Yeah,
I like set mid personally, but
yeah,
you
I also feel like Artifact played it quite well. He found a lot of flanks. If his team wasn't this far behind, I think it could have worked, right? He looked quite strong in the later stages. But
we do have a draft going on right now, and so far, same things. We're seeing the 𝗏𝗏𝗺, we're seeing the Zoe. I mean, you don't have to worry too much. They're just bans at this point. They're very so far. We expect much the same. Do we see a Caitlyn? We see the Nidalee ban, which is a change up. Clearly, percent really values her on this patch. But yeah, if we do see set again, I think set mid and set jungle are both very good spots for him. But yeah, he does need to leave the laning phase instead of sitting there against Rise and doing nothing.
Yes.
And the Camille ban. The Renekton ban does come out against percent.
Camille on blue side makes sense to ban, because especially after Renekton ban is already there, you can't first pick Renekton to block off the Camille. And Camille has some very good matchups, especially if you pick her later. So you could go something like Galio, Nocturne, and then follow up with Camille, while Camille on blue side is always risky to pick. Lilia is open. Let's go.
But so is Caitlyn.
That's true. Interestingly enough, 2 games in a row, Caitlyn open.
I imagine Caitlyn would be the first pick over Lilia. But
yeah, of course.
Could see the
for sure
pick here. Can see it.
Okay. I guess I need to pick your brains about this, because I'm not getting all of the Lilia hype. Because right now I think it's sitting with like a 22% win rate across all of the games that's played in every region. So if y'all want to explain to me why you're so high on the Lilia pick right now,
it's fun.
No, we all love Lilia. That is the only reason. What is going on here? What is
This
that?
is my time. I love it.
That is interesting.
This is the LMS special, baby.
It
Okay.
is. It was the how was his name? Ann, right?
An
The
and
ADC for
NL,
HQ? Ann, yeah.
An and NL both played this a lot in 2015 and 16. So Jinx against Caitlyn is miserable. It is terrible. But provided you have the right support, you can survive it with the range on your rockets, sort of leveling out that range disadvantage. And mid to late game, you do so much more than Caitlyn. You just do so much more damage.
Mid-game. Especially the 2-item power spike is so much stronger than Caitlyn. Especially if Caitlyn goes for a bad build like she did last game. If Caitlyn goes double BF sword items, maybe it's not quite as severe. But yeah, the 2-item power spike is really big for Jinx. She is the only other 2-item power spike crit ADC besides Aphelios, in my opinion. Because all the other crit ADCs like to go to 3. But Jinx comes online on 2, and she's so strong. She hits that power
They're
spike.
the only 2 crit item ADCs that build Renards. Maybe that item should be looked at. And they're going all in on this sort of mid-game focus around with the Nautilus lock-in as well. Rebel, I'm sorry, I kind of took away from you, but I got excited.
That's fair.
Percent going for that all in on the early game with that Elise. How do you like that? Do you like that strategy from them? It sort of worked out for them last game.
Yeah, I think the way at least that DNK played the matchup, especially if he goes back to something like the 𝗧𝗲𝗺, it was punished very heavily without much repercussion here for Eagle when he played the Nidalee. And so now he gets an even better ganking champion where, he doesn't have to hit a spear, now he has to hit a cocoon. But as long as he gets any sort of tag like that, it's pretty much a dead champion immediately. It is a shame that Renekton's now off the board, which would have made a fantastic pairing with Tado, who apparently was just so phenomenal in game number 1 that now we're considering him for MVPs and of the like. But certainly the Elise I do really like. I don't know that it's at the priority of something like a Gragas still because of the team fighting, but obviously if Percent wants to play early, they certainly have the champion for it now.
And Yulwei, I've talked a bit about it. How are you enjoying Secret? How are you enjoying that comp? See, frozen. He's not here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Yulwei now.
It's all right, boys. I'll jump in
right.
to help him out till he comes back. G'day, lads. We've got a backup. So, with me back, that means, Vinny, you get to do your job as an analyst.
Awesome.
Can you give us the rundown on Team Secret's comp?
Secret's comp has such a great mid-game focus with this setup. You do lose that bot lane pretty hard with the when sacrificing, but you come into those mid-game skirmishes with really strong CC.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, boys, I've broken the Discord. It's a disaster. Oh, no. Can we get back in? It's all right, boys. We'll fix this. I'm going to keep calling the draft while I fix it up. I am alone. I've screwed it, boys. I've screwed the pooch. As it is going to be a Jace and an Echo to round it on out. I just need to get Discord restarted. I've made a mistake. It's been a disaster so far. We've got so many tech issues. We're looking like VETV tonight. Very sorry, lads, as it is. Yeah, I screwed up the call. Let me get back in.
Oh.
Can I rejoin?
Oh,
g'day, lads.
I think
You all back?
Hopefully.
I'll give it back to you guys then. Sorry about that. That's my fault. Don't blame the others. That was all on every day. I'm really tired. But you guys take it on away.
Yeah, okay.
You wanted to talk about Secret's comp, Vinny, right?
Yeah, it's just so exciting. You lose the late game, you lose the bot lane team in lane, but you come into those mid game skirmishes really strong. The Kha'Zix can fight the Elise in the jungle and try and slow her down to sort of act as that bridge. And the Irelia picking that into the Jace is a bit. You're gonna lose until about level 5 or 6. But you can probably get that. You can get that kill. You can get that kill pressure down, especially with Kha'Zix coming up to gank.
Definitely.
And Syndra as well. All right, I'm back to hosting.
Mm-hmm.
Rebel, final thoughts. How do you like these? How do you like Percent's comp? Because I just rambled about Secret for too long.
Percent's composition, I think, is a lot cleaner in my mind if you're looking just like as a whole. If you look at Team Secret, you've got like a Kha'Zix, you've got an Irelia, you've got a Jinx. Like they're not champions that are like super well fitted, at least together in my mind, but I love all of their champions. But the way the percent has responded to them, you've got Echo in the mid lane to respond to Syndra, you've got Jace to kind of zone out Coded for a lot of the sense, and you still have Big Koro who's able to try to suppress the Jinx in the early game. There's a lot of really good things happening right now. It's really hard to not just love Secret's composition, but I think percent has at least put something together that can easily respond to the early game and try to get that advantage going into mid.
Yes, they absolutely have. And with that, what is your prediction?
It's going to break my heart to say the Team Secret's not going to win this one, but I really do think the way that they played last game, especially with the composition, if any semblance of that comes back in game number 2, I think percent does have the better composition to snowball once again.
All right, so it's a percent from there. My heart's with Secret because I love my girl Jinx, but my head does say percent as well. Going over to you, boys of the caster zone.
So, Yulwei, I've got an interesting fact for you. When the Oceanic servers were first created, so for some context, back in the day, like Season 1, Season 2, I think maybe even the start of Season 3, I'd have to check my dates, all of Australia had to play on the North American server with 200 ping. If you want to play League of Legends, you played with 200 ping. Didn't have a server, but eventually we got a server. And when we moved over, you could do a little trick to get a free name change. What you could do is you go on the Oceanic server, make an account, name it your current summoner name, and then when you transferred your account, you had to change your name. Do you want to guess what my name was when I first moved over? Jinx's best girl. I was a Jinx one trick, and it was the only time I've ever been a high rank in League. I hit Diamond. It's the only time I've ever been a decent rank in League, was when I was a Jinx one trick. So I am very excited. The game was very different back then, of course. This was a long time ago, but God, I love this champion.
So I'm going to switch our roles for a little bit then, and ask you about the Jinx Caitlyn matchup, because Vinnie said it's horrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's miserable.
Yeah,
okay.
It's miserable. Can I illustrate it to you? This matchup is so bad for Jinx, Kate's gone lethal tempo.
Yeah, it's true. I'm actually. Oh wow, we have a lot of trading going on.
A brawl.
It's super dangerous for Tado. Level 2, he's dead if he stays close to this earlier. That's 1 more minion. 2 more minion. Oh no, it's only on 4. I didn't see that. And we see
Venus in a lot of trouble. Big Koro charging on forward. That's a lot of summoners being used on both sides.
Look at the top lane. Eagle wants
Coded. He throws out the flawless duet. Eagle's no way to hit a cocoon. The minions formed the perfect line. Get down, Mr. President. As they kept that spider away.
A lot of damage on Coated. That is very, very annoying for him. He had to chunk through his last potion stack, and now even goes back to lane. To base, of course. Needs to... oh, maybe not.
He's going to stay.
So that actually might help Tado sustain through this matchup. Of course, he doesn't have any potions available either. Eagle is still
here. They're going to go for a dive, but DNK's very close. That's a huge flawless duet. He's got 2 marks. Can they turn this around? The bug just shows himself to scare them away. He's a spooky boy.
Yeah. He was not level 3. I think level 3 he would have gone for the 1v2 under turret, for sure. So very lucky there. And another very topside focused game from Percent in the early game. They seem to have practiced this style of play with Tado in. A lot of top lane focus and DNK sneaking around. Yeah, this shouldn't really amount to much. Just helping to push out the wave, apparently.
Yep, trying to stabilize the lane. We didn't really talk. It was my fault because you guys got cut off in your analysis. Again, I do apologize. The Echo pick. That's obviously a Syndra counter pick, but it's not a lane counter pick. What do you think about it?
We've seen mixed results. Echo has actually been a little bit of a lane counter in VCS at least too, and especially in OPG's hands. PHT got solo kill after solo kill with that one. So let's see if Glory can repeat that performance. The Echo is always a little bit of a weird one. I feel like the champion just... oh, wow, that's a big trade for Tado.
Tado doesn't go under tower. Could have potentially flashed forward. Not sure if he quite had the damage.
Double Durans. How Coded in a very bad spot. He is losing lane to Tado back to back. It's a very bad sign for Team Secret. What is going on? Yeah.
Maybe there's trouble in paradise. They played Zika last week for no reason.
True.
Maybe there's something behind the scenes with Coded. Obviously, we hope not, but we never know.
dodge. So this matchup, even though he's low HP right now, can always turn. This Aurelia is very good into low range champions, and of course, Jayce is a little bit of both. But yeah, she can all-in him level 6 very easily. Oh, this grab could have killed Venus. He is very lucky to not hit that one.
It's true. 3v3 in the bot lane.
Thinking a little bit too much for my liking. He should just power farm.
Ooh, the hook does land. Nautilus going on in. The chompers come down and they do bite. Can Fishbones get the kill? Of course he can. The rocket's landing. That's not the best TP for Artifact. But they do get that first blood in the bot lane.
It's only first blood to the support and a lot of time to Glory. He's level 6 already. He already won his lane before level 6, so this is a little bit dangerous. We talked about the Artifact Glory matchup, and this is one of the matchups I thought was slightly in Percent's favor, especially with Artifact's recent performances. He's insane when it comes to champion pool, but his overall performance in the split is not quite up to standard. So this Echo could really go a long way. I know one of the most hyped players, of course, is big in the world right now, Knight. He's a big Echo player. He played that in the MSC against Team T1 when they won from behind. And he had some very big team fights. So let's see if Glory can do something similar.
Oh,
level 5 to level 6, coated.
It's not a big level 6 though, to be fair. It's
this could be, now it's dangerous for 𝗬𝗺. He's low on mana. Yeah, he needs to back off. Good read from 𝗬𝗺 to not go close to his minions. That would have been a kill very easily because coated is ultimate available.
Let's have a look at this bot lane play. This TP is completely useless. Lisa's dead.
It is. Yeah, the kill is confirmed here. They were scared of a turnaround, I guess, but Vicar was low on mana, so bad read
really
from Team Secret.
Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, I guess no harm, no foul. Glory has also used his teleport, presumably to get back to lane, so there's no TP advantage. It's kind of okay.
I want to talk a little bit more about Coated's Aurelia here, because Aurelia is quite an exciting champion to watch. I hate playing against her. She's very hard to read, in my opinion. It's very hard to read when she does damage, and her 5-stack is almost impossible to fight against, especially as a ranged champion. I am quite surprised that she seems to be going for the itemization that's better into melees, which is, of course, Blade first. It's a super strong item on her, but usually into ranged matchups where you want to go for short trades and just burst trades as well. I would have expected the Sheen first, just for the extra Q damage. So a little bit surprised. More scaling, I guess, and more looking at the one item power spike with a cheaper build. It might cost her the opportunity to get the solo kill on 𝗬𝗺 right now.
Possibly also reading that you probably end up in the side lane against an Echo. Probably. Maybe. Even
then, I think Echo is not building any tanky stats, so I feel like it's still a good item to go Trinity first there.
I don't disagree.
So a little bit surprising to me, but of course, it's a super strong item after the buffs that were very, very big for the melee champions, of course. 12% is quite a lot of damage.
Yeah. Bork is a bit of a broken item. The Ruined King. Definitely very scary if that's his sword.
So we've slowed down a little bit. 1k gold lead for Team Secret. After only one kill, we see botlane is doing more than fine in this counter matchup. Coated hits the stun.
Gets a very good trade, though. They're going on forward. Coated now has to try and turn around. There's the Vanguard's edge. He immediately gets knocked back. Look at all this healing coming in. But it's going to be 𝗬𝗺 putting the shots in. And once again, 𝗬𝗺 solo kills Coated. But the rocket! Super mega death rocket!
The Snipe celebrity has played this before. This is something good Jinxes do all the time. Snipes across the map. So I think Coated needs to turn right now. Or even earlier than that. I think Coated turned way too late. Of course, he gets an insane amount of HP back. And there we go. One of the weirdest looking projectiles in the game.
𝗬𝗺, you had about an hour to flash there. You could have flashed.
I mean, more slowed down the replay too. So
but the thing is, he did react to it. You could see him turning to try and dodge. Just hit the flash button. He did react, and he just needed to react a little bit better.
To be fair to him, it might have actually been a deliberate choice here to not flash, to not expose yourself to Coated counter kill.
It's potential.
Because without flash, he's very vulnerable in lane.
And also,
it's not great. But
can we talk
it's a little bit selfish for him.
Celebrity winning this matchup?
Yeah, I just touched on it a minute ago or something. It's actually very surprising to see this Jinx do very well. It looks like 𝗖𝗎 is not quite comfortable on this Caitlyn yet. He lost lane last game. He's losing lane this game in a matchup that you both agreed is very good for the Caitlyn.
It
so
should be. Just
a little bit
will warn
surprising
you,
for sure.
It is a canon matchup, to use a fighting game term. It's canon. Jinx and Caitlyn, they do actually fight. So
yeah, that's true.
Expect a little bit of everyday lore as we get this game.
Is Jinx supposed to win?
It's kind of like a cat and mouse. Neither of them are really winning or losing. Fun fact: there's
another gank in top lane. By the way, a big approach from Glory. They want another dive on Coated.
It's true.
Coated has no idea what's happening. He's in a lot
of trouble as Glory's here. He is backing off a long way. There's the parallel convergence. A lot of 𝗘𝗀𝗵𝗁 champs in this game.
Good stun.
Looking at it.
Very good flash, I meant. Very good. Nicely done.
Yep. And this
is a lot of gold, 2% now.
It's traded to on Artifact though. Not as well, but at least they're getting something back.
They have the Rifthold in top lane, so it might even be the first turret. We didn't actually see how much damage went down on the turret, so the true range might be enough to cut through the next 2-3 plates. Yeah, and there we go. First turret secured per percent. They get themselves into a better position, close the gold gap. A significant amount, only 400 gold behind now.
Yeah, and they do get the second charge, and Coated, it's round 2, he throws out that Vanguard's Edge once again. Glory just jumps straight over it, but they can't follow it up. But this is going to be an inner tower. Secret just hasn't responded.
Yeah, they gave a lot of time to Jinx, which this might actually turn out really well for Team Secret, because they gave so much free time for Celebrity in the bot lane. He's level 8 already. Okay, this teleport is risky.
This is super risky. The Chompers come in straight into the zap. Glory he's out of there.
Bye.
Complete waste of time. He just chrono breaks directly back out. That's shocking. They've got to commit a second teleport. But the tower goes down. Jinx gets excited. She's gone. Oh,
and
come
get
on.
Another kill. Yeah, that was super bad.
𝗬𝗺 can't catch here. That was shocking out of %.
I mean, I kind of expected the double teleport there. Now 𝗬𝗺 in a bit of a bad position. A
little bit. The zap coming in on the back of that Nautilus ult. 𝗬𝗺, he now gets hooked. He has no chance. Gonna try and turn it around onto Celebrity, who flashes away. Super Mega Death Rocket gets him very low. Anything lands, and it will be a kill. Zap doesn't quite get there. The taser misses, and 𝗬𝗺 lives another day.
Yeah, Eagle and Lisa came in to save 𝗬𝗺. Oh! Almost.
Tickled her bum.
There's a lot of projectiles flying around, and % actually win the play in the end, even though they lost another turret. They get the dragon and stop the dragon snowball. The potential for Team Secret was still available. Jinx, though, got a lot of gold off this play. Look at her items. She's already looking at a 2-item power spike, while this Caitlyn is still very far away from it. So we might see another mid-game Caitlyn problem.
If that lands, his whole play goes differently. It doesn't kill Celebrity, but it gets him too low.
I'm actually interested to see what happened to the... Oh, it's a trap. It's a trap that cancelled the teleport in the mid lane. And now we have 2 members run down the bot lane to help 𝗬𝗺. Flash E from Eagle, perfect on DNK to kill him. Then the teleport comes in from Coated to stop the re-engage from the other side. But then they also don't get the kill on 𝗬𝗺. So very well played from the side of %, stopping the teleport and then also coming to the rescue and getting one other kill on DNK. We haven't really talked much about DNK. This is still 10-15 Kha'Zix, so still 120% extra damage, isolation damage, instead of 110%, which is what is going to happen on 10-16. But so far, he hasn't really had much impact farming up.
That's very true.
Quite well. Okay.
Just chilling. He's 20 CS ahead of the 𝗬𝗏. Has had similar impact. They've both got 1 kill participation, so it's mostly okay. Gonna have to see if he can find any isolated targets in the team fights later on. Actually, shouldn't be too hard to potentially find Big Koro sitting out the back with the range. Have to see if he can do it.
It's also very annoying for a % to ever side lane, especially with someone like 𝗬𝗺. Chloe should be safe with this ultimate, of course, but 𝗬𝗺 will have a very difficult time to ever go to the side lane, because it's already kind of annoying to play against 1 item on Coated. Of course, he should win this if you look at the history of this game, but it's Aurelia. You can never really bank on the fact. And then there can also be a bug behind him, shadowing, looking for the kill. So it's going to be a little bit of a difficult game for 𝗬𝗺 to play, and we see 𝗬𝗺 just lying in wait. He wants to go for the solo kill.
Oh, there's the rocket coming in as well to try and turn it around, and that makes it so easy. Wow, this is really good out of 𝗬𝗺, really getting a lot of value out of the rocket.
And to be honest, I feel like 𝗬𝗺 would have won this anyway. But
Maybe,
yeah,
make sure, you know, lock it up.
And now we really need to see what Percent is going to do with this
he does
space.
get a lot of damage onto Venus, but they use the Nautilus ult. The repel comes out. Can they get the instant CC? Of course they can. And Jinx is shooting faster as she gets another one. I just want to point out very briefly, we've got a lot of very fun matchups. We've got Caitlyn versus Jinx. We've got Bug versus Bug. Look at this. This is so much fun. Double hookers in the bot lane.
To be fair, Spider isn't actually a bug, if I'm correct. But yeah, I can see.
Not an insect, but I would say it's a bug, because a bug's a colloquial term. It's not a scientific term.
Okay.
I'm happy to be corrected. Am I wrong?
I'm sure about the English.
I might be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Maybe you're right. I think a bug has to be able to fly, right? I think so. So a spider can't fly.
Is an ant not a bug?
Don't think so. It's an insect.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
At least in German, that's how we call it. So I'm not sure if in English it works differently. But a bug in German, at least, is something that can fly.
Oh,
so good. Honestly, 𝗬𝗃 isn't really a bug either. If I think about it.
If you evolve his wings, he does little flights.
Yeah, it's true. He's more like a grasshopper, right? He can jump.
Yeah. That's a good skin. Give him a grasshopper skin.
I really want that now.
That'd be sick. But make him like the grasshoppers from Bug's Life, so they look like grizzled old men.
Oh yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Please give me that.
By the way, what do you think about Celebrity's itemization here? Not going for the full damage, instead with a little bit more safety.
It's interesting. I understand it. It is you just want to get the big rocket in. I think you could go Runins this game, though.
Yeah, I feel like you could definitely go Runins. There's a lot of range in the enemy team. They have a ranged jungler, they have a ranged top laner. I guess it makes sense to get the big AoEs in, as I said, but yeah, I guess Runins is going to come in next, hopefully. I don't want to see a Phantom Dancer now. That would be disappointing.
Yeah. It would be. Yeah, you have to go Runins eventually. It's just too good.
Yeah. So Percent kind of has put themselves in a dire situation after winning top lane. Top lane can't really stand up to the enemy top lane anymore. He also has to constantly overextend because the turret is down. And we have a dragon. A lot of focus from Team Secret on the dragon, while Percent wants to go for a little bit of standing gold. So this could get them back into the game, at least gold-wise. And this is only the third dragon. So honestly, I feel like Team Secret overcommitted a little bit too much for this dragon. They are going to lose a top lane tier 2 turret.
Yeah, I mean, the top lane tier 2 doesn't do a huge amount, but it is only one stack.
Interesting.
Oh, Eagle! The zap came in! They read where he was! Repel can't get to the lantern, and Eagle's been sacrificed. Those flame chompers living up to the name.
Percent is getting caught over and over again all across the map. This Jinx, they are not prepared to play against Jinx. They are really not practiced against the chompers. I think we saw that in the bot lane with the teleport coming in. He got cancelled by the chompers as well. Looks like they don't really know what to do against this Jinx, and she's now sitting at a 2-0-3 scoreline. Has weathered the storm of the early game, is actually ahead by 20 CS. So it's going to be a difficult game to come back from. Look at this. Zap landing. Fine. Very good grab. And then the chompers nicely placed here to deny the lantern. It's an interaction we don't get to see often. It's a very easy way to deny a lantern. So I actually want to see some more Jinx against Thresh.
I love
it. It's actually very cool.
Give me some Jinx. I'm very excited for Jinx. In fact, you could say I'm getting excited. I've just killed a tower. Jinx is a coin flip champion, though, right? That's kind of what she's always known as. Because if she gets behind, she does nothing.
I'd say she actually has a lot of comeback potential because she has a lot of damage. She's one of the true hyper carries in the game, where she, of course, has her rocket launcher has 10% more damage. and it's AoE. So if you hit like 2-3 late game crits on the entire team, they can just all die very quickly. She has low mobility, especially in pro play, where you don't really get to use or get exciting too much. So she needs to be set up well, but she can really turn a game around. She's one of the few champs in the game that you can actually play a one threat composition around, because she has so much damage.
Did you just see that crit? Did you see that shot onto Big Koro? So I mean,
that's a lot of damage.
If you like Jinx,
she's going for an interesting one.
If you like Jinx, the Riot anime that they're making, she's the main character. Yeah.
Okay.
It's about Jinx. It's about, I don't know if it's
a surprisingly low amount of fan servers for an anime.
I think 𝗬𝗲𝗺's the other one, so that's a bit of fan service.
Okay, fair
Not
enough.
the same kind of fan service. I mean, I don't really know. I don't pay attention to anime, so I just know it's about Jinx. Yeah. Team Secret, setting up for Baron.
Flat is justice and stuff, as anime community would say.
All right, I get away with my references. You're allowed to get that one.
So, what do you think she's actually going for? Is that an Essence Reaver I'm seeing? Is that a Stormraiser?
I think it'll be Essence Reaver, just so you never run out of mana. I would have preferred the Runins. I think the AoE damage in team fights is great, but he is just going for the big one-shot boom with the rocket.
Yeah, I really like Essence Reaver. I feel like it's going to be a Stormraiser. I'm not sure. It's extra slow. It's not bad either. It's crit mantle, so we don't quite know yet. Unlucky.
Yeah.
It's one of the two. It's a lot of crit, though. He's probably going to go for 100% crit build, which is ridiculously strong on this champion.
Mm-hmm.
No lethal tempo is actually quite surprising to me. I think most Jinxes go lethal tempo. She's lacking a little bit of attack speed later on if she doesn't go for another attack speed item.
I think this is just reflecting the lane. Big Koro, like, when we were talking about it, this should be a miserable matchup for the Jinx in lane. Unfortunately, due to how things shook out, Team Secret actually had priority for most of the lane, so I bet if Celebrity could have his time again, he'd actually go lethal tempo. But going into the Caitlyn matchup, you do need the sustain.
You know what Jinx and Kha'Zix are also very good about? This purple worm on the top side. They can shred that thing very quickly.
Baron is quaking in his... I don't know.
Yeah,
quaking
he absolutely is.
Pit. He doesn't have boots.
With the 3 mouths, that's a lot of screaming coming out of him. But I feel like Percent needs to control this top side very, very well to prevent a sneak from happening, because that's a lot of single target damage. Jinx, of course, perma stacks her Q attack speed. They could even call and coated for the Blade of Ruined King extra damage. And Syndra is decent against Baron too. It's not the greatest of mages, but she's okay. She deals some damage too.
Yulwei, I'm going to ask you an important question. Testing your color. Do you know what her minigun is called?
Fishbones is the big one,
the rocket.
right?
Everyone knows that Fishbones is the rocket launcher. But what's the machine gun's name?
I played a lot of Jinx in the PvE mode. What is it called?
You're not allowed to look at chat because someone's already said it.
Mini something? No.
Nope.
I don't know.
It's Pow
I don't
Pow.
think so.
Pow Pow.
Pow Pow. Okay.
Yeah, it's Pow Pow and
Yeah.
Fishbones. Her 2 guns.
Pow Pow is yeah, okay. A very onomatopoeic name, I guess.
Yes. Very much so. Fishbones is the one with personality. That's the one she talks to. Fun fact, I think this is slowed down a little bit. I just want to talk about Jinx. One of my favorite, voice lines in Legends of Runeterra. Never mind. We'll come back to it. As Venus has been caught out, but they're turning it around. The teleports are coming in. That's a long lantern, but it doesn't matter as the rocket is homing and the bug is squashed.
That's the jungler. Can they go for Baron? They have double Ocean Drake and probably Lifeline, Bloodline on the Jinx, so that should be a lot of sustain here.
Yeah,
this Baron is going down very quickly.
Yep,
Percent
8k health.
in there with Glory.
Glory,
no W.
Oh, Lisa will get knocked up here. That's not a great use. 𝗀𝗃 goes down immediately. Glory's charging in, doing a lot of damage. Venus takes it, but look at these rockets beginning to rain. The Super Mega Death Rocket will not land. Glory, he might even it, but not quite. But he gets celebrity'd. And now, with the excitement, they can charge on forward, but choose some restraint.
And Celebrity is playing this Jinx. He's playing out of his mind. That positioning was amazing. He used his support to block, or I think it was the NK. And the last one, he actually stepped back. It's very easy for Jinx to just get overexcited. Very, very nice for this champion to actually have this flaw in it as well. She can run in and then just die very quickly too. He stepped back. He had some very nice steps, and I am so impressed with overall how Celebrity developed in the last year. Look at Venus. He started this off. He's very tanky. Stone plate already.
Oh,
and there's the last rocket. Where is it? Oh, did he actually target it small? I'm not sure. Maybe he targeted a small spider. And that followed the big spider.
I'm not sure. But this is going to be the Baron attempt.
No, this is not a tank.
What am I talking about? This is just a really long replay.
He's not a tank. So Glory gets close to executing Venus, but even if he did, not really that valuable. So he goes over the wall, gets healed by a very clutch heal from 𝗍𝗀𝗺. That was nicely done. Flash forward from Celebrity, and look at this. Stepping back to avoid the hook and potential turnaround for the enemy team. So very nice positioning for Celebrity. He actually finished the Stormraiser, which in my opinion actually makes some sense if you go for the his rune choice. What's it called again? Fleet Footwork. Then Stormraiser gets extra value. So maybe with a different rune choice you would go, oh, interesting teleport.
Ooh, this could be them collapsing on 𝗀𝗃, but as soon as they notice that, they're just going to start the Baron. They have to kill 𝗀𝗃 to get something out of this. Parallel Convergence comes in. It's flashed over. Glory followed the flash. Vanguard's Edge comes out. Won't get the slow, but 𝗀𝗃 is on the run. At best, they trade one kill. He gets the mark down. There's the chrono break, and now Glory could be in so much trouble. He goes gold, but it's going to be a 1-for-1, and it might not even be a 1-for-1 as 𝗀𝗃 finally goes down. The Baron is secured, though. It's not worth it, %.
What did they try to do there? I'm not sure. Okay, there's another fight,
there is another fight. Venus pops that stone plate. He is going low. Big 𝗀𝗺 throwing rocks from the side. Did get a big headshot onto Celebrity, but it's going to get turned around. Elise went 1-for-1. At least they took a Baron buff away, but 3 members off the map. It's looking a bit scary, Yulwei.
Oh yeah, that it does. And that should be an inhibitor. Secured. 7 seconds on Glory, so maybe only the turret. And they have a lot of push. They have a Jinx. She should be able to swap to 𝗨𝗨 and get extra damage in. No, she actually very restraining herself, very defensive there.
I feel like
only
she could have done that
launcher.
and just run away with the
I think
speed.
so too. For sure. But I guess it's the time is not really pressing for them. They have a big team fight advantage.
Big play by 𝗀𝗃, redeeming himself a little bit.
There he is. Good dodge. 𝗨𝗨 is so far away. Glory too far forward. I think Glory and 𝗨𝗨 are not synced up well. And the mark actually stays on Glory even after his ultimate. So that's very important for 𝗀𝗃 to get continuous resets on the Q. And was very close to actually getting the 2v1 double kill.
Yeah.
This is still the replay. So what happened? Venus gets caught. This time he doesn't have the stone plate, I think.
Yes,
he actually does. But he still dies.
Big 𝗀𝗃 got a few big shots.
And this time 𝗍𝗃 with good positioning with all his range. He is in an okay position, but this is Ocean Soul, by the way.
Yes.
This would be the final nail in the coffin for Team Secret. If they secure this one.
Going to pull it out, and much like Baron, it goes down very, very quickly. That is Ocean Soul secured. And with all of Team Secret getting a little bit wet, I don't think % is going to come back. And hell yeah, man. 3-game series? Let's rock.
All the exciting picks. I think this 𝗂𝗃 has looked absolutely useless.
It's
getting carried by the very cool ADC pick here. And Celebrity, I am so impressed with this guy. He's my number 1 ADC for the whole season right now. I think Slater is still the one who can pop off a little bit more, maybe the one with the higher ceiling. But overall, the consistency and ability to carry for Celebrity has been outstanding. He's the main carry for Team Secret. Alongside 𝗀𝗃, you could argue, especially for the first half, 𝗀𝗃 looked very strong. But right now, all the team fights won by Celebrity. 5-0-4 in this very difficult matchup. Full crit. He is going to pop off in the next fight.
Yeah. It's looking very difficult. I feel like this convict might be getting away. Because I don't think Caitlyn can catch up. Hasn't got Vi. That's the problem. Had to pick Vi instead of Elise.
Elise. I mean, we saw one Elise last week from DNK. That looked incredible. He went like, Venus, why are you always doing this?
I
Please
mean,
stop.
he's okay though. He was covered by the chompers and the zap. They couldn't push forward into Celebrity. They just died.
Also 3 Ocean Drakes, so he's actually going to regen a whole lot of HP.
Yeah.
We have good push on top lane for Glory is trying to hit level 16, which is a decent spike for this champion. Very low ult cooldown.
True. They are sieging this tower though. No minions.
No,
they have to wait.
No Baron anymore. But 𝗖𝗲𝗺 has decent wave clear, but he's way better at aggressive at sieging himself than at defending sieges.
Mm-hmm.
So he just needs to step back, and they get the turret for free. Inhibitor will be secured by Team Secret as well. And this is bot lane Inhibitor, so very easy to secure Baron now, with just waiting for your super minions. And then get the next Baron with Ocean Soul as well. A Baron is not even going to tickle you. So this is now a very easy way to victory. And Percent needs to come up with some miracle play to secure the 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, Glory's on a potential big flank, but I don't think he's going to try and make a play off of it. He's just going to try and secure a blue buff. But Team
also,
Secret
don't think he has the damage to kill
junglers.
Celebrity.
Has 2 jungles, I should say, not junglers.
I mean, with how Venus has been playing, you could argue he's jungly too.
True.
Very far forward.
The rocket will miss. Parallel Convergence is battered out, but he won't follow up on it. Very cool name.
770.
Very cool name for an ability.
Which one?
Parallel Convergence.
Parallel Convergence. All his abilities have amazing names. Phase Rush, Chrono Break, Parallel Convergence.
Isn't his passive Z Drive Resonance, I think?
Okay, that's a little bit too cringy for me.
As Venus will get caught again, but everything zoned away. They can't follow up on it. It's also a bit of lore with Everyday while we've got a moment. Zilean canonically hates Echo. Hates him. Doesn't like him because he screws with time. And Zilean doesn't like him. I'm not sure if the Zilean 𝗲𝗺𝗺 feud is still canon. I don't think that's canon anymore. Zilean and 𝗲𝗺𝗺 used to hate each other.
Interesting. Why does Zilean hate so many people?
The Zilean one was back when the forums were still used. There was the rioter that had the Zilean picture said, before 𝗲𝗺𝗺 was released, said, no, we would never add something as stupid as an armored bear to this game. 𝗲𝗺𝗺 was an armored bear. So then it became that they hated each other. They had a bunch of lines in game where they would just insult each other. It was really funny. Nice. They might still have them, I don't know.
So Baron has spawned. Bot lane is going to push in all the time with the inhibitor down. The Baron is going to be what Team Secret needs to secure this game. Of course, they can't really lose the team fight right now, so Percent needs to kind of find a way to get this Baron without having to team fight and also prevent the bot lane push from happening. So pulling a rabbit out of the hat is an understatement at this point.
Yeah.
Venus once again getting caught by CC. He's just running into these CCs.
He's got an Ocean Soul and a Gargoyle.
Yeah,
he's not even getting caught. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he didn't even lose any HP. He's just there to run into the... Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Look at this. No one is losing HP. There is Ocean Soul against Baron. It's a little bit of a broken mechanic, you could argue.
It's a strong soul. But yep, this Baron is going down in seconds. There's the secure. Percent couldn't even get close to contest it, so Team Secret will have another few minutes of the big purple buff. And we've got to see them closing the game out. They'll probably go for this Elder Drake and then the final fight.
So I would actually argue you ignore Elder here. You try to finish this with Baron, because Elder is the one way Percent could actually maybe win a team fight. Elder is not even going to guarantee a team fight victory, but this is the one thing you can maybe conceivably see Percent win a team fight. So feel like I would like Team Secret to just push all the lanes in and ignore the Elder Dragon. Could even try to give up Elder while getting the Baron, while getting the enemy base. Because Elder doesn't give you a big recall, right? You still have to add the 8-second recall timer.
I just think giving up Elder is just always way too risky. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Venus, once again, will get hooked. He goes gold. This time he actually is in the middle of the enemy team. DNK takes a lot of damage. Venus hits a hook and has to run 𝗏𝗏 very, very low. And Eagle, where did he even go? The bug got splattered on the windscreen. The jungler's dead. And this is going to be an Elder Drake. Surely it's over. Surely we're going to game 3. Oh, yeah. Glory just teleports to the top lane. Okay. He's out of there.
Glory basically just pressed FF without actually pressing FF. He teleported away from the play to his top lane where nothing is to be accomplished. So, nice. This game is more than over, of course. It took Team Secret a little bit of time to close it out. Actually gave % time to get their items. But they are just a little bit too strong. All the buffs in their favor. They are almost more than 10k actually ahead. And look at all the crits.
Yeah, Artifact does get hooked here. This could be bad for the Syndra, but it doesn't matter. He blows them up. Look at all of this damage. Look at the rockets raining on in. The artillery is making Beirut look like a field trip, as this is some destruction. The Nexus will finally fall. A few ints onto the Fountain Laser. Quadra kill for Jinx in the end. And we'll be back in just a few minutes with our analysts to break down that game. Don't go anywhere. We've got a game 3 for you. We hope you're enjoying the show. See you guys very, very soon.
Welcome everyone to Game 3 of Percent versus Secret. We saw a massive comeback on the side of Team Secret with the Jinx pick coming out for Celebrity, who will be taking our MVP for that game because what was his in school? Like 8-0 or something? It was very impressive out of him. Now, Yulwei, you wanted to talk about the bug. You want to talk about a bug's life going on in that jungle. Take it away.
So there was a little bit of an unusual jungle matchup. We don't really see Elise anymore. Elise is it's very binary. You have to snowball early game quite hard. You most of the time want to snowball top side. They tried, didn't quite succeed. I want to see Eagle go back to some of his utility champs that scale better. I want to see Percent build actual teamfight compositions because that is something they excel at. So I'm a little bit surprised by the Elise pick. And on the other side, 𝗬𝗃𝗃 is the new Graves, maybe? I'm not sure. Just farming camps and not doing anything. But yeah, the 𝗬𝗃𝗃 failed to have a lot of impact. I also feel like it fits the NK style, but I prefer his other champs. I think his Graves is better. I think his Gragas is way better. So I would like to see a little bit of a change in the jungle.
And we saw a bit of a different story in the top lane, didn't we, Rebels? 𝗏𝗏 didn't completely smash coded.
Yeah, both games, I think we've seen the same rough game plan come out from Percent, where you got Eagle, he wants to get 𝗏𝗏 ahead, and then the rest of the map is supposed to stay even or get slight advantage depending, and then they play from there. In game 1, worked really, really well because the rest of their map was very equal. They had decent scaling champions, and they're able to smash top lane in a lot of different ways. But in game number 2, of course, they didn't really get a win in that bottom or in that top lane, and B, they were really hard getting punished across the map with the Jinx picking up kills left and right in the early game, and you just can't play against that Jinx if you get to late and don't have any sort of advantage to work with.
Yep. And as we cut across to the draft, we should focus in on that bot lane a little more because Big 𝗀𝗃 has gotten this Caitlyn twice, and he has won precisely 0 lanes with it. Even one where it is against a Jinx. Now, I know Caitlyn into Nautilus is quite rough because 1 foot out of line and you are dead. But you're still against a Jinx. You should be ahead. So, do you want to see Percent just ban Caitlyn and look for something else, or?
Yeah, it's the 𝗏𝗏 is open again. First game we had 𝗏𝗏 first pick into Caitlyn counter for Percent, so let's see if that priority stays the same. 𝗏𝗏 has been stable for especially Percent too, so maybe they bait the Caitlyn first pick and answer with 𝗏𝗏 on their side. It's very surprising to me that Graves is a higher priority than Caitlyn. In my opinion, Caitlyn is utterly broken on this patch, so let's see if Celebrity also wants to show us some. Maybe Celebrity is comfortable just playing counter picks. And yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh no!
Is that first pickable? That is much more of a standard first pick, but it seems that perhaps again Percent can get.
They can actually get 𝗏𝗏 Caitlyn now. 𝗏𝗏 Caitlyn bot lane is unbeatable.
Rebel, what do you think? With this 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏?
So far, I think we've seen a little bit earlier priority for jungle, and then of course top lane where we saw Renekton first rotation on red side. I wouldn't be shocked. And then Eagle might be going back to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I don't think it was a great champion for it. Yeah, Renekton's banned out, so they got to find at least a little bit of a different option for 𝗏𝗏𝗏 here. They were able to find one last game. But yeah, I know right now Yulwei is probably just drooling at the mouth over the fact that Lily is still available. Not to mention that Caitlyn, the 𝗏𝗏𝗏, there's so many powerful picks remaining on the board. And so prioritizing Nidalee and now the newly nerfed Thresh, a little confusing to me from Percent because you give up a lot of power potentially to Team Secret here.
Yes, Caitlyn 𝗏𝗏 is still open. I don't really see why you won't pick Caitlyn 𝗏𝗏 here. It's 𝗏𝗏 nerfs coming next patch. So what is going on? We just completely ignore bot lane now. Okay, fair enough.
And if Caitlyn gets through this draft, I'm going to be very confused. I'm not going to say disappointed because it's really what I should have expected from the VCS at this point. But yeah, the Caitlyn 𝗏𝗏𝗏 just seems like, okay, get the Ashe It's not Caitlyn, but it's fair. That's not an unreasonable pick. Celebrity's good at it. It matches.
I guess
to her.
like maybe patch 10.15, like it just dropped a little too fast for these games, and so these bot laners don't feel comfortable playing. 'Cause I think it hasn't won yet, has it? Caitlyn lost both games that it was in.
No, the
And so
first game
maybe
he won.
First
The
game
first
was the
one.
one.
He didn't
he
win
won the
lane,
first
but
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
There is a Draven, by the way. There is a Draven for Vico. It's the
Yes.
second Draven game of the split. The first one he won, so exciting stuff. He's our one Draven player. Draven Thresh is a famous lane. I don't think it's that great into Ashe because she can kind of keep
It's
him at bay with
very
the
nice into
W.
Ashe.
Yeah, okay.
Because you have that speed up. You can sort of counter that in the longer trades. You can sort of counter the Ashe passive, especially in lane where the slow isn't that strong.
Mhm.
Plus, you have your access to CC.
Actually, I have no idea what the current rune choice is for Draven. Seems to change every
Hail
few
Blades,
months.
pretty sure.
Hail of Blades? Okay, yeah.
That's what
we'll see.
I've mostly seen.
I have not
So-
seen a Draven in ages, so I don't know. The Draven is a little bit of a special one, and most of the time we actually see Draven farm out the laning phase quite evenly, and then get his first kill at like 15 minutes, and then get the 1,000 gold cash in or not. So it's not about the super early domination anymore, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So we have set. Interesting.
Rebel justified the set for me.
Justify the set for you. I suppose that you can actually flex it a little bit, so you can go between mid and top lane depending on what your matchup is going to look like. I don't love it either way, and I think the only place you can really put it is mid lane. Now into the Syndra, especially if Eagle could figure out how to hit a spear for a gank, then you're going to have a lot of ability to work with. And I suppose the other thing is that Set is somebody who requires at least a little bit of forethought here from Team Secret. So you have to burn Assault, you have to burn E, you have to burn 𝗬𝗺𝗁𝗁 W to be able to save somebody. And that buys a lot more space for Big Korra on this Draven to make something happen.
I'll say that, not again.
Are we going to see Tado rumble again?
Not again.
That's a dangerous prospect. That is.
Just play
man.
Lilia. No. No.
Lilia wipes the floor with Wukong. I played that matchup yesterday. Wukong can't do anything. That is such a disgusting lane for Wukong. But yeah, the rumble into Wukong is decent, but can get punished by the jungler. Luckily for him, they don't actually have the greatest CC setup in the early game, so Tado should be fine. That's a strange composition for percent. They are pretty short ranged. They have a lot of mid game power, so maybe fighting around the third dragon, fourth dragon to secure the soul and snowball from there.
Mhm.
It's a little bit of a weird one. The Draven, always exciting to see the Draven, but is it actually a good champion right now? What do you think, Rebel?
So I don't think Draven as a champion is particularly strong. I do know Draven can get exceptionally strong if you're able to get through your laning phase. If you go Monomune and then into Hail of Blades and into the rest of your crit, because you just hit like a hammer. And in this game specifically, I think it's actually really good because there's a lot of levels that are going to be worked at where 𝗂𝗧𝗃 is going to want to dive, Wukong's want to get to backline, but then the rest of the team's going to be a little bit further back. So you can play kind of front to back as the Draven, where you can focus 1-2 targets at a time. And so what I actually don't like is that Tado picked something like the Rumble, where yeah, you don't have a lot of damage if you don't go up something a little bit more damage heavy top lane. If you pick something like Malphite or something like Maokai that puts a lot of pressure and puts a lot of zone control into the opposite team, this buys a lot more space for Big Korra to single out DNK, Coded, and then Artifact Celebrity slowly one by one in a fight. So the Rumble has to do some really good work to engage or drop some great damage. Otherwise, I really don't like the pick.
I just don't think Rumble's a particular much of a champion right now. With that, I am going to say I'm going to guess you're going with Secret for this game, Rebel.
Sticking with 100% win rate, win side, or red side win rate. So I'm going to say percent wins.
Okay.
What's your call?
Percent. Red side win rate.
He calls percent. I want Rumble.
Oh, Vinnie.
I want a redraft with Rumble disabled because Secret should win this.
I mean, thanks for the throw.
Yeah, sorry.
I totally know when you want me to come in. I mean, seriously, it's all right. I'll always take matters into my own hand. You know, I'm an attention grabber anyway, so all good. Just coming in on my own.
Good save.
So, got a bit of a father and son team. I like it. %. You know,
with Set and Draven.
Yeah,
or?
it's a theory that Draven is Set's father. The timelines work. It's just a theory. I'm not even kidding. It's actually a theory. Yeah, because Set's father ran out on them. He was a Noxian.
I feel like the playstyle is very much reversed, though. The quirky, aggressive son and the more stable, tanky father. So
other way around. Draven's Set's father.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but it's weird when you look at the playstyle.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. I mean, they're both pretty arrogant, so maybe that runs in the blood. I do find it funny, you know, Draven and Darius, the actual brothers, they were the blood brothers. They both came out. And now Draven doesn't have a bleed. It's got nothing to do with blood. Celebrity's in a lot of trouble, though. He might be bleeding, as he's ignited up, takes so much damage. That's scuffing the lane pretty quickly.
Yep, that was his heal. He didn't actually have to flash, so at least he's safe in that regard. But it might just go down to the next all-in if Lisa lands another good grab. Of course, now Venus is level 2, so he actually has his gobble. Should be safe for now. Interesting push in the top lane for Kkd. Kkd. Oh, wow. What is going on with Kkd today?
Really
he has missed from so many
series.
small situations. Just got hit by the turret shot. That's quite bad into 𝗬𝗺, because this is not a champion where you can go for the skirmishes all the time to get your passive stacked. Not super useful against an AP champion. So look at this.
Look at that. He's roasted.
Yeah, he got wrecked. At least he got the push and can actually reset here. It's a little bit of a cheater recall coming in. Of course, 𝗬𝗺 has a lot of pushing power himself, so he might just be able to force the DP anyway. But there's another wave coming in, so yeah, I think.
Oh, a hook has landed. A spear was onto Celebrity, but are they going to go under tower?
That's a lot of damage.
They need to push this wave up. It's got a few more minions.
Set is here as well. Glory.
No, he's going back to mid with Team Secret backing right off. This will, of course, be a pretty easy tower plate, and this Draven is doing it all with style.
He definitely is. Eagle is trying to fish for something here. Wow, that is a lot of time spent. He's falling behind in the jungle matchup. He's actually getting counter jungled right now on the top side. But luckily the 𝗬𝗺 bot side is still available. He also has constant mid pressure, as well as, of course, bot pressure. So should be able to secure that one and not fall too far behind. He's still 2 camps down. So that was a lot of time invested to bring Draven ahead. You can see he's not going for the Mana Moon build, interestingly enough. Instead, going straight into Bloodthirster.
Why do you think that
Probably a little bit stronger for lane. I guess he wants to dominate lane a little bit more with lifesteal. So, yeah, I don't really like it too much.
Maybe it's just the Vamp?
Maybe. Yeah, we'll have to see.
And then he'll go into the Mana Moon. Because I think Mana Moon Draven is just the superior build at this point.
Yeah, historically, the VCS teams have been a little bit reluctant to pick up the Mana Moon for some reason. The 𝗁𝗂 transition took ages.
Yeah.
And the transition back from the Mana Moon then also took ages. It was
there was a reason that was a running joke on this cast. We haven't done an everyday item check-in in a long time. But we did that every time a 𝗁𝗂 was picked. That whole 𝗁𝗂 meta, they built the wrong items. It was hard to watch. You know what else is hard to watch?
Look at this.
Those trades.
Kkd has a very hard time trading, but he's still ahead in CS, actually, and he didn't use his teleport, so utilizing waves way better than the games before. Also, look at 𝗬𝗺. 𝗬𝗺 actually uses teleport to get back into lane.
Yeah.
That's a little bit surprising to me. He's a champion that can push very quickly, so didn't have the time to push in the wave completely and reset for cheater recall himself. So now a big TP advantage.
Oh no, not again. Venus has to flash straight away. The axes are flying. Stand aside, Mr. Catfish, and go on down. First blood for the Draven.
600 gold in his pocket. That is 2v2 dominance. He wanted something that is a little bit harder to play. Caitlyn was too easy. He was struggling to have an impact in the laning phase, so he went Draven instead. He knows how to play Draven. He's maybe his favorite champion. I don't actually know, but it seems like one of his favorite champs for sure. The only Draven player in our league.
Let's have a look at how this again happened.
Lisa smurfing.
This is all
Double
Lisa. Honestly,
play,
this is
yeah.
all Lisa. Big
Yeah, I
Coro,
mean, Big
good.
follows this up well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Big Coro
sets
had
up
the
his-
killer
his,
instinct
um,
as well to flash forward. That was well done. But...
Yeah, also the positioning of the axis, you can kind of influence it a little bit here and there, and there was almost perfect positioning. But look at this CS gap in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is tragic.
that's a roughie.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not even factoring the Draven passive. He wouldn't have built up too many
220,
stacks.
I think. 227 or something.
He didn't have too much time to build up that League of Draven. But still, it's extra gold. It's very scary. This Draven is really far ahead.
So now it's very unlikely that he goes for Mana Moon, in my opinion, because he probably wants to go BF in the next recall. Well, we'll have to see.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Top lane is still... This is actually very interesting in top lane, because 𝗀𝗃 gets to control the wave. He's losing all the trades, but he's winning the top lane. He's losing the battle, but winning the war, I guess you could say, in the top lane, because... I'm not sure what 𝗬𝗏 is doing. I guess it's hard for this champion to control waves, but he's really not making this Rumble into Wukong matchup work. So he's now 10 CS behind, built the arm guard, so he should still win all the trades. And look at him, he's actually very cautious.
He's just... I mean, I think 𝗬𝗏 needs to be a little bit more bold. Really step up, get that flame spitter, try and make this wave crash, because you're getting really hard denied here. And if this Wukong gets ahead in the
pushing
matchup...
back into him.
Yeah, it will. But he is still missing. Oh, hello. Someone's mic's broken. Oh.
I don't think it's on my end.
I can just hear it in Discord.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. I think it was one of our analysts chiming in with a little bit of extra noise. Disgusted at the top lane matchup. Understandable. Another thing is not going percent's way. Yeah, DNK is really dominating this jungle matchup. 18 CS ahead already. And this is mostly due to the fact that Eagle spent a lot of time bringing his bot lane ahead. Playing a little bit of the facilitating jungler on Nidalee can work well if you Draven carries you, but Nidalee, she herself is now behind individually and needs to be careful to never run into DNK.
So, this Draven build has got a bit of a quirk because he's just gone and picked up a Dirk.
It's Sanguine Blade Draven.
Okay, that's weird.
I've seen that.
Oh, Whirling Death comes out. Celebrity might just be going down. It's a good play there by Venus to save the Ashe. He's going to die for it in response. Draven should be able to whip one more axe momentarily if he can get another blood rush. This catfish is not going to make it easy for him.
He has no mana.
As he is on he can't actually get it. I think Eagle might end up getting this kill. Yeah, he's going to go into tower. Eagle gets it.
Very unfortunate.
It is. Kill's a kill, though. It's not a terrible assignment. Nidalee's not bad. 𝗬𝗏's in a bit of trouble as the Cyclone came out. Then he just has to use the Equalizer to clear the wave. Artifact now in the mid lane. Glory going in onto him. Good flash.
Wait, what happened there?
I don't know.
He overextended for a plate or something. Yeah, he probably overextended for a plate. Ghost and Flash, he used to probably engage with Ghost. Then he didn't anticipate the movement speed correctly and got caught.
Yeah.
Top lane is going more and more in 𝗀𝗃's favor, which is still very strange. He's going to hit the turret, so another good recall, denying another wave. So that is the silver lining, I guess, for Team Secret. They have one winning lane. Mid lane is, it's actually winning 2 in terms of CS, but now without Flash. So we'll have to see if they can stabilize bot lane. Venus is still level 5. Celebrity actually level 5 as well.
Can you explain?
So there's Sanguine Blade.
Well, I don't understand this. When is he going to be isolated? Is he side laning this game? I don't understand it.
Sanguine Blade into... Maybe it's a 𝗬𝗏 adaptation.
But when does he ever get the passive turned on? That's my...
𝗬𝗏 isolates himself, right? When he gobbles someone up, you get the passive.
For what? 2 auto attacks?
Yeah, fair enough. That's not much. I'm just trying to come up with stuff here, okay?
Yeah, I don't play enough or watch enough Draven. He's just not a super common pick. He's very excited. He's very
I've seen this
fun
before.
I don't necessarily hate the lethality if you want the early spike, but just go Ghostblade.
So he's alone in his lane now. Yeah, it's a little bit strange to me. Of course, this gives him a little bit more lifesteal. 𝗬𝗏
Good equalizer. That just stopped the gank though. That was good.
Also nicely done. Also stopped the potential turret take with the Herald. So Herald is not going to take much. Instead, Percent is still working on this one.
So you said something last game. Celebrity is potentially your best ADC in the VCS. He is 60 farm down. 𝗏𝗏 is dueling with GNK, has to flash away. GNK wants this one. But in the end, it's just a flash for a flash, and the Rift Herald
summoned up. That's what we call support difference.
I think it's also a little bit of champion, and despite the Herald, 𝗏𝗏 just got 610 gold. So this is a 4v5. Celebrity's not in this game.
I mean, to be fair, they also have 𝗬𝗏𝗃, so it's more of a 3v5, to be honest. Yeah, it's going to be a rough mid game for Team Secret. Percent's composition is super strong in the mid game. They basically have to give up every single objective and pray for a not so great soul. We are going to get Infernal. Yes, there we go. Oh man, that is perfect for Percent. They might just win the series. They are in a very good position to close out the game. Only 1k ahead right now. There's a lot of hidden gold right now on 𝗏𝗏𝗺. If he gets a kill,
he's going Mana Moon.
That's going to be, yeah, he's going Mana Moon now. Starting with the tier, interesting. Sanguine Blade into Mana Moon.
So our analysts have actually
2.5k gold lead, by the way, in the bot lane.
Our analysts have given us a bit of education, and actually quite like what they're coming. He got that early lead, which meant he could go Sanguine Blade, and he was going to stand alone next to a tower. You can take that very fast with Sanguine Blade. That attack speed, it's very relevant. No one could approach him. He just stood there and hit the tower really, really fast.
The question is if it's really worth it for only that. I believe it's... if you only get more gold from the turret, you basically...
It's not a terrible item, regardless. If he spaces himself in team fights, it'll be okay.
Yeah, I feel like this is... Yeah, that's a very interesting one. We want to observe a little bit more, but look at his gold. 6,400 at 13 minutes.
He's 2,000 gold ahead of anyone else.
It's ridiculous. So much gold. Okay, and Mana Moon is one of the strongest items in the game in terms of pure stats, so he's just going to hit like a truck. His Q on max is, I think, 85% of your AD, total AD.
Yep.
So, with Sanguine Blade and Mana Moon, you're going to hit something like 250 AD and plus 85% on that on top. So you're going to hit for more than 400 per X. It's quite a lot to deal with. That's not critting, by the way. That's just base damage.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I love seeing 𝗏𝗏 succeed. He's one of those champions that it's miserable when he's actually meta, but when he comes in as this edge pick to just surprise a draft, it's so much fun.
It's also so fun to watch him because he needs so much practice. You don't have 𝗏𝗏 ever being played by players who don't enjoy 𝗏𝗏, right? Yeah. You have like 1-2 𝗏𝗏 players per region. We have Patrick and mostly Patrick in Europe. Maybe you could argue someone like 𝗬𝗏𝗁 likes. I don't actually know. I think Patrick is the famous one. I don't know if NA has a 𝗏𝗏 player. There's at least one in 𝗚𝗏𝗃. One of the bottom tier teams, I think, has one 𝗏𝗏 player as well. So there's always one or two 𝗏𝗏 players.
Just by the way.
𝗬𝗏𝗁, right. Yeah, that's the other one. 𝗬𝗁 and Patrick are the two very famous 𝗏𝗏 players in the EU. So it's always cool to see them bring out the pick, even if it's only fringe matter, because they have so much mastery on the champion. They know everything in and out. They perfectly know how to space, and the same goes for 𝗏𝗏𝗺, of course.
Yeah.
Two items.
He's one of those champions that his skills are... Oh, nope, not quite. Very close, though. He's one of those champions that his mechanics aren't like the big super flashy animations like Yasuo or now Yone, that kind of thing. But watching a good 𝗏𝗏 work in a team fight, you get the tingles, man.
I think he's one of the hardest champions to play in the game.
It's certainly up there. To get max potential out of him, hell yeah. It's so
There's no mobility, or almost no mobility, only movement as mobility. Movement is hard to play always, because you need to space. You need to move, you need to manipulate your Q, you need to know when to use your E and how to use your E. It's insane. The champion is also low on range. It's one of the hardest champions to play in the game, and it's always fun to see him succeed. He's not quite there yet. We see a big gold lead for Percent, and they have the Dragon Snowball on their side. Third Dragon is going to be the next big fight. Is Team Secret going to take this one? They are very far from an item on ADC, but they have the Trinity on Coated, and he has Flash available, so...
It's such a weird situation, because all of Percent's lead is bot lane. If they kill the Draven, Team Secret is ahead. It's all on this Draven. So, can you take the fight? 'Cause I think Coated getting onto the Draven, if there's maybe an Ash Arrow follow-up, he probably dies. Does he?
Well, Draven itemized very smartly here with the early armor boots. Of course, in terms of pure value against AD damage, armor boots aren't that great, but they are perfect against auto attackers. And there are quite some auto attacks in between the combos of Wukong, of DNK on Kha'Zix. So he's going to reduce the amount of damage there significantly. Also, is going to help him against the early lethality from DNK. So I feel like Team Secret is not going to take this.
Trying to trade an inhib. They want to break the base.
But there's Equalizer, so...
But they can't kill the Herald with Equalizer.
Herald is going to charge once. So
yeah,
it's not going to be enough.
It hasn't worked out. I was looking at where Artifact was positioned, kind of cordoning off
what
that...
What was Louis trying to do there?
Not 100% sure. Ash Arrow did whip across the map, didn't find anything, as that Infernal finally goes down. And it's so hard to read this game. Percent is definitely ahead. But again, if Big Koro makes one mistake, Team Secret is ahead.
That's true. That's true. He's all of the gold lead. He's even more than the gold lead. He's 2.5, 2.6k gold ahead, and this team is only 1.5k gold ahead. So there are some parts of the map that are actually behind. I think, especially in top lane, maybe the jungle too, maybe support. Those are some of the parts of the map that are actually behind. Coated is super strong. He hasn't really done anything other than farming and getting a few turrets. So it's all going to be decided at the next Dragon. It's a very slow-paced game in terms of kills for the VCS. Only 2 kills at 18 minutes.
But it's tense.
I feel like that's a new record.
Can you feel how tense it is, though?
It is very tense.
The air's thick. I love it. It's obviously high kill games are very fun, but I kind of like games like this every now and then, where everything's on the bowstring, right? I love it.
It's not like both teams are not doing anything. They're actually moving around the map and trying to outplay the other team. 3 dragons, the next one up in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And that is going to be a big, big objective. The Infernal Soul, is going to make the Draven damage almost unbearable. He's still going to be easy to kill. It's not a Mountain Soul, but there he has another.
To be very, very careful just for the moment as 𝗏𝗏 gets blown on out. That is a rumble tumble for sure. Celebrity has to back off, but they can't trade a kill.
Really wanted to get Big Crow another kill.
He's going to have a lot of passive stacks. In fact, he's got 430
right now.
Ash Arrow, it doesn't actually work on minion Celebrity. Straight through the uprights there. Venus has to flash away. This Tahm Kench is looking like a lovely sushi dinner. Glory, though, completely whiffs at the face breaker, but it doesn't matter as the kill is claimed. To Eagle, he's in a lot of trouble, gets gobbled up by the bug. That was a very strange passage of play, Yulwei.
So that was definitely a bug in the computer of Eagle. He just vanished. he was gone in a split second.
𝗬𝗏𝗄𝗃 killed him IRL. 𝗬𝗏𝗃 killed him in real life.
Whoa, he just disappeared off the face of the earth. What? That was insane damage from DNK. He has both of the kills for Team Secret. So, maybe there's a future where we can solo out the enemy Draven. But of course, the Sanguine Blade is going to help against that. So
let's have a look at this dive. It was an abyssal voyage and lived up to its name.
Yep. Nicely done. Not. This was the attempt to get another cash in for 𝗵𝗂𝗺. 800 gold are waiting to be collected. Or 800 extra gold. So if he gets a kill, it's more than 1k gold for him. But
Insane.
not quite able to do so.
Shocking Ash ult.
Yeah, though it's a little bit useless. But I want to keep my eyes on Eagle just getting deleted by DNK. There was like 2 Qs, I think, and he died.
Ooh. Yeah, the little burn there. It must
He got betrayed by Glory too. Now he's isolated. It's so sad.
I don't think DNK needed to flash there, to be honest.
He flashed away from the hook. He was very scared.
Fair enough.
There was a hook coming in over the wall, so it was hard to spot because this is the Spirit Blossom skin. It's quite hard to see the hook. It is, but the hook is a little bit pay to win.
I mean, he already had High Noon, so Thresh has got paid to
High
win
Noon
hits.
is-
High
High
Noon's hitbox does not match its model. It's not fair. That skin is pay to win.
Look at the gold lead, though. It has shrunk. Team Secret with the 2 cool picks has actually closed the gap mostly. There's a lot of hidden gold still on 𝗵𝗂𝗺, but he hasn't cashed in a long time. And they are preparing for the big objective to fight over 50 seconds away. Almost everything available. Summoner spells down for Eagle and Glory, though.
Ooh, 𝗵𝗂𝗺 flashing on forward. He gets the cash, 1,050 gold, as he deletes Celebrity. Ash is gone. I don't even know if 10 Second can get back in time. They're going straight onto this tower. What was Celebrity
Completely
doing?
overextended.
Fool.
I didn't even pay attention to the map. I didn't think there would be anything happening. But Celebrity just stepped out of line, and 𝗵𝗂𝗺 punished him big time. 1,351 gold for that 1 kill. And we will see the attempt at the Dragon Soul. Of course, he's a level down. Oh, even 2 levels down. It's 2 levels down, so...
And
might
the big
want
thing
to
as
steal this
well,
away.
we just saw the gold totals. 𝗵𝗂𝗺 has 2,000 gold in his inventory.
Of course.
It doesn't do
He has a
anything
reset.
in your pocket. There's the
And he has no flash.
equalizer,
He
does a fair bit of damage onto Artifact Encoder, but here comes the Ash Arrow. It sails through, somehow through the middle. DNK desperately ants to get onto 𝗵𝗂𝗺. Coded has already gone in, uses that Cyclone, but he has to get out on 0 health. The Whirling Death is thrown. Lisa's found DNK. He explodes. This is Infernal Soul, and that's going to put 𝗏 in a very, very favourable position.
To present. They defended their line so well. They defended their back line incredibly well. The 𝗵𝗂𝗺 had no flash. Was so scary for him to fight against Coated. Nice snipe. Did not expect that one to hit. But Lisa is putting on a clinic on this Thresh. He hit everything in lane. He threatens all the time on DNK, and DNK got caught, got killed. Nothing to do for them to kill 𝗵𝗂𝗺. He's safe all the time. Look at this again. The battle lines very well established. 𝗧𝗲 actually staying behind to mark DNK a little bit. And everyone is grouped up, so DNK can't get an isolated target. Really trying to go there. Coated also not able to get on top of 𝗵𝗂𝗺. Good dodge here. These are always staying close to not isolate 𝗵𝗂𝗺. And yeah, they just mark all the threats perfectly. Stay together.
It's got to be said. I know everyone is looking at 𝗵𝗂𝗺 and going, well, that's obvious MVP. Baron was claimed during the replay, by the way. Lisa has been really good. This Thresh has been making moves.
Yeah, we talk about Draven because he's the more unusual champion, but this Thresh performance has been out of this world. His hooks, his marking, his positioning, fantastic.
It has been really, really good. I'm always happy to see good games out of Lisa. He's someone we really want as to sort of succeed. Oh, DNK does find Eagle. Can he claim him? But he uses that Zhonya's Tado is now here. He doesn't have enough damage. And DNK, he did not know. He lacked critical information, Yulwei.
He did not know that he wouldn't get the other isolated damage. That was so risky from Eagle. he threw himself in there, knowing perfectly well that he's going to die very quickly to this buck. This time around, saved by Tado. And Percent is so far ahead in this game. 6k gold, Infernal Soul, and Baron right now. So they are just going to try and close this one out. Of course, Draven, it's... That's Infernal Soul Draven with 4 items, by the way. That is that's a lot of damage. Muramana completion, as the transformation just came in, so even more damage from that. 350 AD right now. plus 85, plus the potential crit from rapid fire cannon. So a lot of damage.
Boom! Half of Celebrity's health bar, by the way. One auto attack, half the Ash's health bar. This is over.
Yeah, Draven from ahead becomes a poke champion. It's
Weird.
quite
It's strange.
dangerous. There we go. Another push in.
Another equalizer.
There's so
much damage. This is an inhib. Percent's about to beat Team Secret. This is basically securing their playoffs. Not mathematically, but winning this series, they're in playoffs, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's super important for Percent to win, because they are behind in head-to-head against Saigon Buffalo. And so far, they've looked like the better team. But against Saigon Buffalo, they have just collapsed every single time. So it's very, very important for them to stay ahead of them in terms of serious score, and a win against Team Secret would go a long way for them to secure the playoff spot, even challenging for 5th place against 𝗲𝗏𝗺, because 𝗲𝗏𝗺, of course, is only sitting on 4 serious victories too, playing later today against Flash, though. So,
yeah, well,
you know, not very likely.
Well, I mean, was Percent very likely to beat Team Secret? Like, apparently, it can happen.
Yeah, we should just adapt our predictions to whatever his name is called.
𝗬𝗏𝗰𝗄. I think we agreed to call him 𝗬𝗏𝗰𝗄.
No, 𝗬𝗏𝗰𝗄 is ours.
Oh, you're right.
Whatever.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it's the other one. But you predicted Percent to 1, so I guess he's just better. What can we say?
Fair enough. Hey, he was right. Because I don't think Team Secret can come back in this game. They don't even really outscale or anything. Even if this went to 40 minutes.
No.
Oh, Coded's dead. Gonna try and Cyclone out. The Showstopper comes in, has the second Cyclone charge, gets gobbled up by Venus, the MVP. But it doesn't matter because those axes come a whirl, and it's another missed Ash arrow. To be fair, it was 𝗀𝗎𝗆's this time. But this is the League of Draven.
Absolutely is. And there we go. Another push.
Oh, he's just going straight forward. They don't care. Turrets. What's that? They went for the big play.
Ooh,
This is
what was
unstoppable.
that?
It's unstoppable.
I think it was Eagle. No. There was 𝗲𝗏 landing 1 E, by the way. That whole chunk on Celebrity. There was 1 E plus Comet plus Infernal Soul. It was like half HP for Celebrity. So what are they going to do against this? 𝗲𝗏 is a battle tank. He's tanking just by providing a lot of presence and a lot of annoying damage to deal with. So fulfilling his role as a frontliner perfectly well. And the next objective is going to spawn in 40 seconds. Elder Drake, of course, to secure the kill. Venus wandering into the jungle.
Yeah,
Why?
once again, the kitty finds a yummy bowl of fish. This has been a bad performance of this 𝗬𝗏𝗁𝗁. Perhaps that's just what 𝗬𝗏𝗁𝗁 does. And did you see that axe damage? That is something. Glory gets a big unleashed power into him. They might actually turn this one around. Draven is dead. Team Secret can win this fight. They've got 4 kills. 𝗲𝗏 is the only man left alive. I'm sorry, I just punched my mic in excitement. Celebrity flashing away. They've got to be so careful of this flamethrower. Can they get onto 𝗲𝗏? An Ash arrow finally lands. It's a good omen. And that's going to be an ace. Team Secret won't say die. They get Elder. Oh my god, this could be it, Yulwei.
I mean, look at the base. They are still in a very dire situation in the base, but they could secure the big objective here. That could bring them to a point where they're strong enough to contest Baron 2, and this game is not over yet. Big overextension. We finally saw some of the flaws of Draven. No defensive tools in his arsenal. He only goes one way, and if he's caught out, if they are all grouped together against Coated, he's going to die very quickly. So let's look at this again. Venus maybe acting as a decoy a little bit.
I don't know about that.
No, he's just getting caught. But the artifact gets some damage on Glory, and DNK looking for the flank. 𝗲𝗏 is too far away. They are all grouped up here, and Celebrity lands a crucial slow. Coated comes in. Venus once again with a perfect grab, by the way, almost turning the fight around, but then Artifact and Coated have enough time and enough damage to kill the Draven this time around. No flash for him, as he just flashed forward in the last fight. And honestly, big credit to Celebrity. He has had a very, very bad game. Very, maybe a little bit of support difference coming into, but for sure, not the greatest game for Celebrity either. But this team fight was well fought. They secure Elder Dragon. Can they get the Baron 2?
I mean, you can do a lot of things with Elder Dragon. Their base is in shambles. They have a long mountain to climb, and there may well be an eagle waiting at the top to eat their liver. But
the good thing is, though, is look at the top lane. It's actually, the inhibitor is still down if you look at the picture, but it's not actually down in terms of super minions. Maybe it's a spectator bug, because there's no super minions coming in anymore.
Yeah.
Or it's going to respawn in a few seconds.
That might be a spectator bug. Oh, there it is.
There it is. There it is.
Okay,
It just
it's not a spectator bug. It was just a few seconds off.
So it's only one inhibitor they have to deal with right now. And now, Team Secret just straight up running at Baron. They have Elder Dragon. It looks like Percent is not going to contest. Oh, maybe.
Pings on the base, whirling, death
They are
comes
late.
out, but they're
They're
way
way
too
too
far
late.
away. Yep, Celebrity, he's far behind, but he's still an Ash. He's going to do a lot of damage to Baron. Glory and Coded having a duel.
Beautiful.
There it is, the equalizer was absolutely massive. DNK has to flash away. Tado coming into the pit. Can Coded get into the back line? He's not even going to go for it. Pops his own Cyclone to try and get out. Team Secret need to disengage. If they can save these buffs, they might just save this series.
That is what they just did. They got the Baron, very bad positioning for Percent, way too far away, just completely out of position, and perfect Ash ultimate from Celebrity, spotting the enemy jungler, and Eagle just was stunned while the Baron was going down. So no chance even at trying to get the steal in. Good secure for Team Secret, and look at the gold. It's only 1k between the two teams right now.
Yeah.
Top lane, jungle, mid lane, all ahead for Team Secret. Bot lane, of course, is still a little bit of a dire situation there. Look at the items. Ash is still very far behind.
But all
we're
he
getting
needs
there.
to do is hit an arrow. This is a full build Draven, just for the record. Full build. At 32 minutes. Does he sell his boots?
I don't know if he sells the Sangreon for a Bloodthirster later.
I'd like that. He could sell his boots. Draven does have movement speed in his kit. Could potentially do it.
Or Trinity or something. Even more movement speed.
Ooh.
Even more damage from Q. I would like that.
Maybe a Leandri's. Seems to be something that is just randomly good as a 6th item. Like Gangplank should build Leandri's. I still don't understand the math. I still don't understand the maths on that, but it is accurate. Yeah, I know.
The odds.
No, I don't think he'll be going Leandri's, but it'd be funny.
Sen still pushing forward. I feel like Team Secret is just trying to weather the storm, trying to get more items under their belt. They've equalized the gold lead, but of course the push situation is still not really great for them. 5 turrets down. And still the Infernal Soul for Percent.
So I just want to point something out. Someone in chat has just pointed out Draven has 2 slows, and Leandri's does the slow burn. He could build Leandri's.
It's true. It's true, but
it's not going to happen. It would be really funny though. That if that happens, someone screenshot it, send it to LS. His ult and his E. His ult and his E. Doesn't his E have a slow? Yeah, it does slow if you get hit. It's so that he can hit both sides of it. If it didn't slow, you'd never hit both.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, it'd be funny. It won't happen, but it'd be funny.
Yeah, and Percent needs to regroup. They need to calm down. They are still in an advantageous position. They still have an insanely strong ADC. So just regroup. Try to think about your battle lines a little bit better next time. And try to tell 𝗏𝗏𝗏 to not go forward as much. Because
kind of
maybe the flash forwards...
Maybe not with flash.
Need to be saved. Yeah. The flashes need to be saved.
DNK on the hunt. He's super mobile. Ooh, tough. Okay. They pass just like strangers in the mist.
Just passing by.
Hey, man.
Nothing to see here.
I mean, he's
1
using...
minute to Elder Dragon.
This is much tenser than it should be. This game...
Very good game 3. It's very enjoyable to have this one as a game 3, yeah. The whole series has been exciting, back and forth. A lot of cool picks. Jinx, Draven, all of the ADCs getting some spotlight. Now the Elder Dragon is going to spawn, and there's full control for Percent right now in the jungle. So what is Team Secret going to come up with to contest this one? No flank teleport wards or anything for Coated. He needs to approach very obviously. So
yeah,
not the best situation.
Team Secret have to play honest at the moment, and you don't want to be playing honest. You need your dirty tricks.
Sweeper for DNK now used.
This is Yulwei This is one of the tensest games we've had in a long time, and it shouldn't be. This is insane. Now, Team Secret have the positioning on the Elder. It's been pulled. It goes down
It's going to
fast.
come out 50-50?
It could.
This whole game?
Eagle, he's very far back
Absolutely
at the
insane.
moment. Glory is looking for the engage. 6,000 health. Equalizer's been used. The engage is attempted. There is an arrow landing, but it's only onto Lisa. Artifact trying to find a
From the
flank.
side.
Uses that GLP. The redemption resets the fight. Dragon still aggroed.
And ult advantage for percent now.
There's the
A
reset.
lot of big ultimates down for Celebrity, Celebrity, and of course also for Taro. Okay, maybe it's actually even an ults. Oh,
Ooh,
DNK.
Eagle, he's trying to get caught out, but there's Lisa! He hits the hook! That's a jungler dead! Lisa may have just 1% the series. They now have full control of Elder. Secret has to fight this. Coded is backing. He needs to TP in. Can we see a miracle? There's the teleport. He'll have
from behind.
the home guard. They're turning on him. He's on that cloud, surfing it on in. Big Coro, you need to be big.
Yeah, you have no smart. You need to fight.
They absolutely do. There it is. The big cyclone goes in immediately. Shogot stops. Celebrity's been caught, but he flashes over the wall. The first kill goes to Tardo. It's all going Percent's way. The Tardo has got 2. There is 1 for Eagle, and surely nothing can stop them now. Percent get the upset. The Buffalo are looking on in abject horror as they see their playoff chance evaporating in smoke. There it is. Eagle claims the Elder Dragon. And this game is surely going to draw to a close.
30 seconds. That should be enough to just walk down mid lane. Honestly, walking down mid lane is not the greatest because there's still a turret standing, but they have so much damage. Shouldn't be a big problem to just raise this turret immediately. Backdoor protection is gone. 18 seconds. Yeah, this is definitely game. Coated, can he do anything? DNK and Coated.
DNK is going to go forward. He's doing his absolute best, but there is the dragon roaring. Big Coro, he's on his victory lap. He wants to show why it is his rift here today. And Percent pick up game 3. It was an absolute swabber knocker. I'm so happy I got to bring that to you. But now I have to go straight back over to our analysts, and I'm sure you guys have a lot to talk about. Have fun, guys. Take it on away.
Thank you, Everyday. What was that? That was so tense. I'm reeling. It looked in the bag, then it looked out of the bag and on the floor, all over the walls. It was everywhere. But Lisa, that hook saves the game. Oh my god. Rebel.
Absolutely incredible performance from
your
start to
take?
finish for Lisa.
Yeah, absolutely. Rebel, what were your thoughts on that?
I mean, Percent came out with a composition, and it wasn't shocking to see that Draven was just pretty much the only real threat. You had a couple of different damage dealers, had a couple of CC people. It was Draven the whole time. It was about getting Draven auto attacks, about getting everything that you could, and that's why it felt so kind of coin flippy at the end. Is because Draven was so far ahead, all of your gold advantage, and the majority of your damage in general. When he dies, you lose fights. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. And so, yeah, it was really, really tough in that regard. I agree entirely. Lisa, I think not only saved the series with that hook, but also is the primary reason why Big Coro was having the success that he did early on, getting a lot of those kills, finding hooks, finding plays, finding a lot of the position, and also allowing him to position aggressively with the lantern to pull him back out. Really, really good stuff in this game from the bot lane, who, at game 2, they did okay, didn't do great, didn't have much success on the Caitlyn. Game 1 didn't feel like they were the ones really pushing a lot of the pressure, but certainly game 3 was entirely on them.
And with that, we are going to give player of the series to Lisa for winning that series, winning that final game off that hook. Massive performance out of him at the end there, right there when Percent needed it. Huge shout out, of course, to Tardo, who proved us all wrong today. We thought, oh god, it's him. Gonna lose it. But no, he did fine. Some would say he even did great. Some would say he even deserved to be player of the series. Off your way. But yes, Lisa is going to get our award for today. So, with that, we will be back for Flash versus EVOS, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, stick around. We'll see you then.